Okay, so you guys remember where we last left off?
Did we just finish in the bar, or did we get anywhere further? I don't remember.
Um, you previously, yeah, you spoke to Stanley Shepard of the Union Mutual Society, and he basically like he told you the whole thing with the resistance, and he also said where to find the leader, Captain Snell.
Mhm.
Um, and as it stands, like you guys are in the bar right now after having avoided your guards, so um, yeah, you're free to move out. And also, just for clarity, I did actually touch base with Tom and got the full, rather elaborate battle plan for Gunny Horgus, who I'll be controlling this session. Um,
Nice.
Oh
so,
no.
oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
So,
Shoot everybody.
Questions
Damn.
later. Shoot everybody, goddammit, ask questions later. Steal their shit, add it to our collection.
oh, that's a perfect Horgus right there. Just, oh my god.
That will be damn by close.
Rule number
Holy
one:
Jesus.
always go for your gun. Um, so, uh, yeah. So
Might as,
basically,
Maybe.
Mhm.
uh, so let's see. So May outpost. So I'll bring us over to the world map. Um, for reference, just waiting for Emily to. Yep. Okay. So you guys are right here, and um, the directions. Well, actually, hold on. I think in the scenario, let me just double check something. Somebody, whoever has the highest observation, give me an observation with +3.
Yep, that would probably be me.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Because you got like, what, 9?
I don't know, but I've got several skills where I'm like, yep, I'm the highest.
Yeah, I'll see.
Observation. Yep, there it is. Yes, I do.
Alright, so observation
Uh,
+3.
right click, base modifier. 3. No stress modifier.
Nope. Well, let me, yeah. Alright, cool.
Uh,
So,
I see something.
yeah, well, yeah, because basically for navigating, looking around. Um, I'll also note, that if you want, you can rest here and recover all of your stress if you want before heading out. If assuming everybody or like anybody has stress. I don't know what the.
Is there anybody that does?
Let's
I
see.
don't have stress.
Emily doesn't.
I think we're all okay.
Yeah. Actually, I think last session. I think you might have been chilling last session at the bar. So either way, so uh, Horgus says, "All right, nap time's over. Move out." And Martin, take point. So,
Okay. And Martin takes point.
all right. So, yeah, you guys. I'll move the team token to here. Um, Oh man, that moved instantly. I was waiting for. I was watching. I was like waiting for it to like sort of
Yeah.
fly across. Like okay, apparently it didn't. Um. So yeah, and because it is nighttime and like it's the night shift and um basically there are street lights, but you can sort of keep a low profile. Stick in like dark alleys. You see like the spotlights of the Chinese soldiers, and you can kind of circumvent them easily. I'm not going to make you do a mobility roll to sneak by them. Okay, so you get to you get to the coordinates that Shepard gave you, and you're basically the ruined old town is as you finally reach it because you only kind of briefly saw it when you were flying in, but up close you can see that this was like the epicenter of a fucking war. So it's like all bombed out and um,
Mm-hmm.
destroyed. There's wrecked vehicles and like corpses left over from the war. Um, so there's that. You make it to the bunker. The bunker is basically kind of like one of those sort of like cellar style, like below ground kind of things where you go like down some stairs and it's very old, uh, kind of architecture to it. I have a mental image of it in my head, but I can't really describe it, so just kind of use your imaginations to fill in the blanks. Um, so as you are going through the bunker, like going down the stairs, you actually see that there is at least some source of dim light. Um, and when you are getting down the stairs, you are actually seeing that there are lit candles. Um, like the bunker is not powered, but there are somebody lit candles down here.
So
Um,
this is definitely occupied.
yes. So, uh, Martin, because you're
Occupied
on point.
or
Sorry.
occupied, or it's either occupied or it could be a shrine.
That is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Martin, I need you to do me an observation roll because you are on point. Um, so,
+3 again.
no +3, just base.
Okay. I'm going to roll this and I'm going to reserve the right to do a manual roll.
Yeah, no, go. I encourage you to do a manual roll. I'm doing the same thing.
Okay. /R. What?
96.
9D6.
Let's see what you got. Do you want to push that?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 96 plus 1ds. And be sure to mark up a point of stress. Um,
Oh, we're doing that shit
Unlucky.
again.
It's gonna be one of those days.
well, to be fair, you did succeed the first roll. I don't know why I'm doing Gunny's voice for that, but um, so what happens is so you're walking like slow, doing like the whole like Drake patrolling the colony with a smart gun thing, like slowly, like slowly looking, heading down the stairs, light footsteps. Um, you hear like a
And there's a
whooshing.
piece of glass and I step on it.
There's what?
And there's a piece of glass and I step on it, and it makes a terrible noise, and
No, 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 no,
there's
no,
like a
no,
whole.
no.
Oh,
What
okay.
happens is, um, because again, keep in mind the lighting down here is not the greatest. You hear like a swoosh, like a chop noise, and like within seconds you find a fucking sword, like the sort of flat end, like the blade of a sword up against your neck because there was somebody hiding up against the wall, with a sword at your neck. So take 1 point of stress for the. Oh my god. Um, startled. And while you're doing that, so basically, out of the shadows
And
come what?
and with my banter, I go, "Hey, I shaved this morning. I don't need another
Oh, um, so um, you basically like there's a woman there who she says to you, British accent and all, saying like, um, who are you? Choose your words carefully.
one." Martin Willems, glad to make your acquaintance, even if it's um, despite my sharp wits.
um,
And Martin kind of makes a face like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that."
so
We're new here, ma'am. We just came from the Three Lions pub. We got sent by one of what was the guy called again?
Stanley Shepard.
We were sent by Stanley Shepard here. You know of him?
So here's this. So first of all, I will commend you for saying the right thing in that situation because I was about to have Gunny do a manipulation roll to convince her, but basically you said like the magic words. So uh,
What, sharp?
no, specifically mentioning that you guys were sent by Shepard and not the cooperative.
Yeah.
Um,
Ah.
but so the woman like kind of eases down a bit and she sheaths the sword and um, she ushers for everybody. Well, not really ushers, but just kind of like does like an arm like enter kind of gesture. Um, and says, apologies for that. I had to make sure you weren't cooperative spies. And she introduces herself as Captain Hannah Snell of the Royal Marine Commandos and says that, since you obviously aren't, cooperative agents and you were sent by Shepard and you know Shepard, but you clearly are not from here. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Well, yeah,
That's
Say hello.
we would probably just give our backstory
Okay.
that we are kind of new in this sector, sent on a mission, and we came across this, and we're trying to piece together what's happening here, the
Yeah.
whole history, and who's doing what.
Yeah. So Snell mentions like, well, first of all, um, I don't know how much has Shepard told you.
Uh, a bit, but we would like to hear from your mouth as well as to what happened to your group, so we can make sure that all the stories are what makes sense and what doesn't.
Yeah. So Snell, basically goes through the fact that she was saying that the um, not realizing the full extent of everything Stanley says. She basically just kind of runs you through the same points about like how the resistance, like, so I mean obviously the royal, like, she is the last ranking Royal Marine Commando garrisoned at May Outpost before they were all massacred by the Chinese. Um, she says, I'm assuming you probably know the general gist of the resistance. We're trying to get rid of Zhāngjié, and I don't think Stanley mentioned this to you, but we do have a plan in place. And if you are, if you are with us and against the cooperative, then I'll let you in on it.
Are we?
And
Uh,
well, you
d-
say that, and the Marines in the background kind of tense up with their Space L-85s in hand. Which, speaking of, they do actually have like, um, you know, SA-80-82s. Like basically, imagine like British L-85 assault rifles with like pulse rifle furniture on them, like the aluminum shrouds and stuff. And that's basically what these guys have. Like you're saying, are we? And they're kind of like, almost get up on their feet, and Snell like holds up a fist, and she says, "Well, I sure as hell hope you are."
oh, you take me far too literally. What we're doing is we're just trying to figure out what's going on. So,
And we're trying to help with the least amount of bloodshed as possible. We're
like,
trying
we
to
came here unarmed, didn't
find a
we?
solution.
You actually did
Well,
not
we
come here
haven't
unarmed.
specified that. Yeah, yeah, we would probably still have it.
Because yeah, basically, let
Everything
me let me
bolstered.
just so you know the full situation is that you were specifically unarmed in the presence of the warlord, but as long as you act responsibly, you're allowed to carry your guns on your person, like everywhere else. So unless you specifically left your guns somewhere else, my assumption is that right now you are armed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but Snell basically says to you the fact that in response to the whole thing about bloodshed, she's like, well, I mean that's very idealistic of you, but unfortunately the time for negotiations is gone, and that is ultimately Zhang Zhe's doing because he took like he and his people took over May Outpost, murdered my commanding officer and the rest of the Marines here, and have been oppressing both the Chinese and the British occupants of May Outpost, he's got to go down. And we have a plan for that.
If your plan were to go through, what would be your action after the supposed coup? What are your plans to deal with, well, history not repeating itself?
Snell says, like, she kind of, like, she was, I would say, like, during the conversation, probably getting, like, like some rum or something, to, like, something alcoholic to have a sip of. And, like, she's drinking, and then she actually kind of lowers her mug and says, now, there's a question. I would certainly prefer a more diplomatic, or rather, not really diplomat, that's the wrong word, GM talking, democratic approach to things. Because she says that admittedly is something that Stanley and I have kind of, not seen eye to eye on. That I would much rather, I mean, Zhāngjié, negotiations with him is just not going to happen. He's going to die. But as for the people of May Outpost, I mean, as long as they don't launch a second uprising, I don't have an issue with them. And she says that Stanley, on the other hand, has more of a grudge against them, like against them as an entirety, rather than me, who just, I'd rather uh, behead the leadership and then swoop in to stabilize the situation.
So you personally wouldn't be retaliatory against the general population, the cooperative Chinese faction, just to quell the leaders and try to start anew with everyone, if I understand you correctly.
Snell says, like, she nods to that and says that, you know, if she were to assassinate the current leadership and then basically do the exact same thing that he was doing, she'd be no better than him. And she says that,
Understood.
um, like, history would just see it as more of like, like a power grab rather than, a peaceful resolution. And she says that, I mean, obviously there's going to be bloodshed, but, you know, unlike Stanley, who's willing to keep going forward in terms of, oppression and retribution. I mean, I've been fighting for a long time, and I would much rather just end this shit.
Would you be able to control Stanley's tendencies for things not to repeat?
Um, so in terms of, so you're asking her, like, in terms of, like, if she could keep him in line.
Yeah, basically
Well,
that.
basically, she's saying that, she originally wasn't, considering um, taking leadership, but, like, as you're mentioning this, she's kind of getting the idea of, like, well, the people at May Outpost might. I mean, she doesn't necessarily say this, but, like, outright, but, like, in terms of the idea, like, warming up to the idea of, the people of May Outpost rallying around, like, a military, like, not necessarily, like, not calling herself a hero, but, sort of like a military, like a revolutionary figure who took
Liberator.
a liberator, yeah, like somebody who had a more direct involvement in overthrowing a dictator is the kind of person that the people of May Outpost would rally around. So she's saying that in terms of controlling Stanley, I mean, I think that's really more for the people to decide. And, not to stroke my ego too much, I have a feeling they would probably rally around me more so than Stanley. Stanley is part of a political party, but I can't imagine his views would be especially popular or especially well
Okay.
received. So,
So
Okay.
ultimately, what needs to happen with Stanley? You keep him under control, or
um,
unlikely?
I mean, if she says that, if I or anybody else, with some balls, figuratively, of course, she says, um, had, like, if somebody, with some backbone and, some kind of power took control of May Outpost, then Stanley wouldn't really be able to, like he's more of like a like again, he's part of a political party, um, but like he wouldn't really be able to do much.
Mm.
Okay. I just have one thing that's still perplexing me. Why did the cooperative first rebel when you guys took them in? Why did they try to take over? I mean, was if I understood, they a few years or I don't know if a few decades they didn't understand that they were living with all of you normally, but they just
Snell,
then.
what she says is that in response to that is basically that the cooperative, so um, there was definitely some um, mistrust and sort of mutual uneasiness that kind of escalate, because basically what she runs you through is that the Chinese came from Kurzik outpost, and that fell into civil war after the isolation. And the people like the Chinese that are currently at May Outpost are, a mix of both the original colonists who fled here and the descendants of those colonists. And there were some people, including Stanley, who were suspecting that history might repeat. Like the Chinese, there was one civil war, and they might sort of bring that like warlike mentality to May Outpost, and unfortunately, it would seem that Stanley was right. And Zhāngjié, in particular, was the one who started that uprising because he saw an opportunity to take power as the highest ranking member of the cooperative. Because I mean, there were a lot of people from the cooperative. The Royal Marines were outnumbered, and he saw an opportunity to take over.
Mhm. But is there any chance, in the hope of not having things repeat themselves, that if the current leadership of Zhangjié and whoever he has by his side is overturned, instead of just you guys being the de facto leaders again, maybe creating something more of a, I don't know, representative uh, house with maybe representatives from your 3W Empire, and at the same time, the Chinese having multiple representatives of their own voting on each matters as a governing coalition. I mean, I don't know, just spitballing ideas. Was never that good with politics myself, but
I suppose it is possible. However, all I care about at the present time is overthrowing a dictator and his government first, and then sorting things out afterwards. And we do have a plan in place that is coming up very soon. Uh, that will be kicking off. That will hopefully accomplish this goal.
what has Zheng Jie been doing exactly? Because we've been here a short while, so we haven't seen for ourselves. I mean, it makes sense that he would probably try to put his best looking face for us, so we don't directly see what's the negativities
Yeah.
behind him. Although we've noticed that
Well,
the population is a bit
well, what
timid around
he's
him.
what he's done is mainly just, I mean, I'm using sort of an out of character phrasing, but Snell basically describes like, stereotypical like, occupier shit where, like, in addition to doing things like setting curfews and, like checkpoints all over the place, like anybody who is like even mildly remotely suspected of being, an insurgent is basically hauled off to an underground fucking political prison. And she says like, at best they're trapped in there, and that's the best possible outcome because it gets a lot worse for some of the people that are in that prison.
Oh, so that's the
Okay.
deal.
Like he will directly like it doesn't take much to, you know, convince Zhāngjié that, you know, anybody is an insurrectionist or just not like blindly 100% loyal to the government, and he will remove people from the picture violently if possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
understood.
And he says that, like, in some cases, you know, there's not even imprisonment. She says, I don't know if you've been in an execution alley, but that's a good demonstration of what happens when you really piss off Zhāngjié.
Ooh, I think we haven't seen it. We haven't been across that in our last round, have we?
Execution
What
alley is north of here.
Oh
what a
yeah, yeah.
lovely
We,
name.
we haven't seen it.
What a lovely name. And what is this? Is this a prison or a location?
Execution alley. Let me just check the scenario because there's actually something specific written about it, and I just want to make sure I'm actually saying the right thing. Let's see.
Oh, fun. A
Yeah.
place with such a lovely name is a nice little description all to itself. This
Yeah.
probably be
It's one of
great
those names
things.
to run away from really fast from TV tropes.
No,
So
man, I thought it was the puppy and kitten rescue. I thought I was gonna go there and meet some new people.
yeah, Execution alley. So Snell says, and she kind of cringes a bit and takes a very heavy, like, long swig of her drink. She says that, yeah, um, I'm sure Stanley told you about the Marines who surrendered.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
where they were
executed.
lined up and executed.
Oh, great.
And Zhāngjié left their bodies to rot.
Oh, just out there in the street.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. That if somebody's willing and able to do that, then I don't really.
Speaking of, also
I'm
as
not
an
sure
unrelated
how
side note, there
stable
is
they are.
actually art of Snell, and because I don't have her token on the board, I'll just share this.
Mhm.
Beret and all, so. Um, but anyway, so.
You're quite a royal marine indeed.
Yep. Um, so anyway, so Snell basically says to you that, um, you know, like, by this point, I can only assume that, um, or hope rather that, you know, you're with us, not against us, right?
Yes.
By the
Very
sound
Yep.
of
much so.
everything.
Horgus
Um,
says, that's affirmative.
However, I do have a couple of questions. Why haven't you policed the bodies above ground?
What do you mean place the bodies above ground?
Policed the bodies, cleaned them up, buried them.
I mean, to be fair, well, out of character, I mean, keep in mind she did merely mention that's where they were executed, and left.
No,
It's just
no,
like,
no, no. Oh, hold on. So you described that when we came in and when we walked over here, burned bodies were still to be seen.
well, I was talking about, like, no, I mean, I wasn't talking about the Royal Marines. I was talking about, like, people that, you know, like Chinese soldiers and such that were killed during the fight in town. I'm not talking about the Royal
Yes.
Marines that were in the alley. Like, Snell couldn't
Yes,
give
I
a
know.
rat's ass about the cooperative soldiers. Fuck those guys. Like,
Okay. I thought the cooperative were the same ones as this warlord.
the cooperative is the warlord's government.
Okay.
Like, they are the invaders that Captain Snell is fighting.
Okay. Still. Got it. Okay.
So was that the only question, or were there more?
Oh, that's it.
I had
Nice.
one.
Yep. Go.
So I think it was Stanley who told us last time that, I think it was within the last month there was a Russian special forces group that
Oh
came
yeah.
here. Does Snell? We'll ask her. Do you know anything else about them? About that group? Do you know where they might be, or they just kind of like gone off the grid?
And Snell says Stanley did mention the Russians, but I I have no idea who they are. I haven't even seen them personally. So I trust Stanley's word, but I couldn't give you an answer on who they are and what they're doing here.
Okay. Yep. I just wanted to pick your brain about it, because I don't know if they're working with the Warlord. I don't know if they're working with Zhāngjié, and if they are, I'd rather we know where they're at and deal with them before we deal with him directly. Because yeah, it won't be fun if we've got like paratroopers or something breathing down our necks while we're trying to help you with a coup.
And Snell says, yeah, in terms of uh, the coup. Well, before that, does anybody else have any questions, or are you gonna let you in on something?
No, we want to hear the plan.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So what she says is that how she said before that there are like there's I think she said to Martin that a coup was much closer than you think. Uh, yeah, sunrise tomorrow. There's going to be an uprising
Holy shit.
because basically there have been resistance fighters like local partisans arming themselves in secret, and because Zhang Jie, I mean, he's been apparently very preoccupied with all the visitors he's been getting. First the Russians, then you, and this seems like an ideal time while he's distracted to strike, especially because now everybody's prepared. And she says that um, the Royal Marines, like, so basically the resistance fighters in the main like district are basically just going to like you know cause chaos and attack the cooperative soldiers and catch everybody off guard. Uh, the she says my boys here, or rather probably in British isms, my mates will be going
My
after.
lads.
Yeah, the lads. That's probably even better. She says my lads here will be launching a diversionary attack on the intelligence HQ to try to divide their numbers even further. And I'm going after. Well, actually, no. Hold on, correction. In terms of the diversionary attack, I just reread my notes. Yeah, the the Royal Marines are going to be infiltrating the Warlord's compound during the uprising, like a sort of a mix of infiltrating the compound and attacking the intelligence HQ to make it seem like they're going after something in there and distract Zhang Jie even further. Like basically the idea is between all the visitors, preoccupying Zhang Jie, the main uprising in the center of town, and the attack on the intelligence HQ, leaves him to be easy pickings for, a tactical strike on his base to assassinate him.
Quite the comprehensive plan.
So, um,
Since you have extra hands on deck now from us, where would you like to send in these sharp knives?
and she says, um, you know, well, I mean, you seem certainly well armed. I suppose, um, that would be up to you, wherever you think you would be. I mean, the more people I ideally surrounding the compound to prevent him from getting away. And as she's talking, you guys hear footsteps and like basically there's a guy who like one person, very sweaty, out of breath, rockets past you guys over to Snell, and he's like out of breath and saying to, I mean, mainly addressing Snell, saying that the cooperative is onto us. There's a large force of guards inbound, and Horgus kind of switches on. He's like, "Straight beat, sit rip. How many?" Um, and the guy, through like like breathing, just trying to compose himself, says that there are like 2 APCs coming in with an like indeterminate amount of troops, and as he's saying that, you notice in the background, and I'll just disclaimer that this is somewhat of a more narrative event, is that the Marines, like as he's saying this, you notice them, like one of them unscrewing like basically like a small duct like pipe, like basically sort of like not quite a sewer pipe, but it's like an access duct, kind of like in Aliens, that like fairly lightly armored, compact individuals could escape through. And she, the guy, Snell ushers him over to join her, and the Marines start, piling into the tunnel. Snell says that you might want to get going while you still have a chance, or not, but either way, good luck, and gives you a nod and climbs into the pipe and shuts the hatch. So Horgus, and I'm just disclaimer, this is something that we specifically talked about with Tom, and I have a screenshot to prove it. Horgus is thinking about it. It's like, God damn it, you'll never heard me say these words before, and you probably never will again. But stand down. I don't want any of you catching spare bullets. So
We're gonna surrender to them, or
that's
what play
affirmative.
dumb?
Well, out of character, playing dumb would probably be a really dumb decision right now.
We just stumbled upon
Yeah.
this place, and we don't know how we got here. Easy.
I was just looking for the bathroom.
Yeah, stumbled
So-
upon another town.
As Horgus like gives that order, Evelyn will look over at Martin and I'll say, "Pinch me, I must be dreaming." And actually stand down for once. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dear.
Can we feign that we were taken in by the Royal Marines, that we were their prisoners or something? Or are we just gonna confess?
Well, as you're deliberating that, you hear like rapid footsteps coming down the stairs, and then like within a matter of seconds, there are a bunch of fucking cooperative guards with AKs and stun batons screaming at you in Mandarin to surrender. So Horgus, he has his gun holstered, he has his hands up, he has his hands kind of out towards you guys to like don't do anything aggressive. He's giving these guys the gunny glare, and yeah. So if you are, assuming nobody wants to do the stupid thing and go down and hail gunfire, it'll be a fade to black and on to the next scene.
Smart gun full auto. Just kidding. Yeah. Agnes looks at Horgus and like, but all right, all right.
And I will, and in my usual brand of transparency, like, no, you're not going to permanently lose your weapons. You're just temporarily disarmed for the next part. Okay, so moving on. So yeah, about maybe like a 30-40 minute drive. You find yourself back at the Warlord's compound, and
That's a 30-40 minute drive, not a 5-minute jog. Okay.
So, you're brought to the Warlord's palace, and you're there. You are disarmed. You are not handcuffed, but you are under. The guards are watching you like hawks, and they are armed. And also, Blitz is here. Hi.
Hi.
You came
Yeah,
in
party
in
just got
time,
taken
but
prisoner by the
captured.
Chinese.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah,
Just
you're not gonna believe this. Gunny actually gave the order to stand down instead of go full auto. Which was actually something that Horgus approved. Like, he actually said that to me when I outlined the session that is something that Horgus would do.
That is hard to believe, yeah.
I've got a new name for Blitz. Falling asleep with your boots on? That sounds to me like Doc Holliday.
And if you saw like half of the stuff that should have been on my bed was on the floor. It looks like I fought off a bear or something. I guess I really needed that sleep.
It's
Yep.
it's Arthur from Poland fighting off the mutated crazy bear.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, so yeah, you're brought, to the Warlord's palace, and he says to you, like, well, I mean, mainly to Drill Sergeant Horgus is saying, it's like, no, Horgus, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good at all. You have, I offered you my trust and my hospitality, and you betrayed me. You aligned yourself with those who would dare threaten our cooperative. And he says that uh, for the safety, for your safety and that of your friends, reparation must be made. And like Horgus is basically saying, "What do you mean, my friends?" And he says, Zhāngjié says, he basically mentions that, um, you know, uh, that Amir and Buckley, are like he basically, describes them as being like prisoners without saying prisoners. And you notice that his second in command, the woman from before that you saw with the fancy pistol, um, when he says that, she actually looks very unsettled by that and actually speaks up and says, "Honorable Warlord, their friends should be treated as the guests they are, not as leverage." And Zhang like just firmly points towards her and says, "That's enough." And he looks to you and he offers a deal. He says that, you know, you the uh, fucking Solovetsky Island crew members are being, he specifically says held accountable, not hostage. And he knows the location of the long data disk because you did say that you wanted it. And then you guys
Yeah.
have been in contact with the Resistance and could potentially be the key to destroying them and thwarting any plans they have. And you could also safely explore the pyramid and see what secrets it has that the cooperative could obtain. And basically, Zhāngjié says that, the deal is that if you complete one of the tasks, you will get one of the rewards. And if you complete both tasks, you get both rewards. So, for example, if you explore the pyramid, you could get your friends out of the brig, but if you want the disc and the people in jail, then you'd also need to destroy the resistance. And Zhang says to Horgus, the choice is yours. And Gunny thinks it over, and I mean, again, from the list of stuff, he says, all right, here's this. We'll explore that pyramid in exchange for releasing Amir and Buckley. Though I do have one condition. And Zhang says, and what is that? He says, if we're going to be clearing out that pyramid, I need more manpower. We have a second team on standby, and we are bringing them in with us. Is that acceptable? And Zhang thinks it over and he nods and says, yes. If it makes your job easier, then I will allow it. And he does note that you're not going in unarmed. You will be given your weapons back once you get to the pyramid. Um, do you have any? I mean, I can't imagine anybody does, but just in case, does anybody have any other questions or remarks you want to make?
I only need to know one thing: where
Where
that
they are.
pyramid is. Yeah.
I have a. Well, actually, no, I will not bring that up. But he knows we were working with the Resistance, so might as well. One question that I do want to bring up. There were some Russians on planet here about a month ago. Where the hell are they? Or do you have an idea where they are?
He says that it was like, so you learned of the visitors. I'm very interested in from whom, but since you inquired, you
Maybe that's for me to know and you to find out, maybe, man.
and Drill Sergeant Orgus says, I'd check your attitude if I were you. This guy doesn't seem a little receptive to it. And Zhang Jia isn't amused by that. He says, I am here. I can hear you. To Orgus. And Orgus like, I know. Um, that seems like maybe it's just my perception, but especially after Horus abruptly whipped out his Gorham on a fucking guy,
Yeah.
I think that seems kind of in character. Um,
Oh yeah.
for him to
that's
be
fair.
completely flippantly disregarding of somebody he doesn't like. Um, but anyway,
God damn it, Cinderman, you aren't giving us
or
some
actually,
motivation,
or
you
actually, or
goddamn
better yet,
pothole.
um, he let's see, check the soundboard. I don't have that one
What
line.
was it? What was it again? Oh, hold on. Let me put a gun against this guy's head to prevent escalation.
De-escalation 101, Horga style.
the Horgus style of negotiation. You never learn at negotiation school. It's a real special technique
Well,
you
here's
get
the
from
thing. No, here or
years
better
and
yet,
years of
Zhāngjié
experience.
says, Zhāngjié basically saying, it's like he's like I'm standing right here, I can hear you, and then Horgus is basically saying,
I'll bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
Really puts the escalation in de-escalation.
yeah, he tends to do that. But jokes aside, you know, uh, Zhang kind of keeps it coy. Like, well, he basically when you say that's for me to know, and it's like, like, well, consider that my sentiment as well. If there's nothing else, then be gone. And he also says, before that, he does say that, um, where is it? He says that he looks over to his second in command and he says, like, look, glares at her and looks at you. He's like, due to how she thinks so fondly of you, Brigadier Wah will be your chaperone. And he says, Brigadier, go with them. And she sort of looks a little conflicted for a sec and then says, yes, Warlord. And will start, walking and says, come. And the soldiers will sort of usher you forward. So, uh, you are brought into one of the ox transports that, like the kind you rode in before, and you are en route to the pyramid. During the ride over to the pyramid, um, so out of curiosity, would anybody be specifically seated next to the brigadier, or just does it not matter? Like anybody who would potentially want to talk to her, or that she would reach out to first?
Um, my my 9 in manipulation says yes, but my ability to actually come
Well,
up with solutions would be
Well, here's the
no.
thing. I mean, unless you were specifically trying to get some sort of favor of her, like, I'm not going to make you do a manipulation roll to pleasantly interact with her and, like, learn stuff.
Oh, so straight up role playing. Yeah, so much better. No.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll say Evelyn is seated near the
okay.
Brigadier as well.
So, and the reason I asked that is because she's sitting there in sort of like a regretful pose with her hands just kind of in her lap, her head hung low, and she eventually looks up and she actually says to Evelyn, she says, um, I wish to express regret for how things have gone. She says that if it were up to me, this whole situation would have been handled more diplomatically rather than with the more coercive and violent methods of the warlord. You are all guests of the Great Kaneng Cooperative, but you haven't been treated as such. Hopefully, if you can handle what you've been tasked with, that will simmer the warlord's temper, and hopefully we can all get along.
Agnes
Yeah.
pipes up and just says, "Can we count on you to try to help us for for us to get out with our heads intact?"
Are you referring to her helping you explore the pyramid, or
But we just generally as in,
like to look out for you?
yeah, will you can you try to protect us against his tendencies
She
with
says that
Zhang Ji's?
she says that my power to do so is admittedly very limited. The burden falls on you to complete what you are tasked with, and hopefully this will, you know, just will pacify him. I mean, for lack of a better word. Because she does add, as you're mentioning that. Well, actually, before that, Evelyn, you were going to say something. I thought. I know Agnes spoke up, but
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's all
That's fine.
good. I get I forget what I exactly going to say, but it was basically along the lines of like, like, you know, I was expecting something to go awry eventually in this mission, but you know, it's not your fault. And I'm just glad that you're willing to actually work with us and be diplomatic. That's at least, you know, one upside to this shit sandwich. This shit storm, rather, not.
yeah, but this one doesn't involve a certain sniper, but that's neither here nor there. So, um, the Brigadier actually does mention, in terms of, noting that at least Agnes and Evelyn are willing to, you know, converse and be, civil and stuff. She actually does also add the fact that, um, they're like things haven't been the same since Kurzik Outpost fell. She says that Zhāngjié was actually only a kid when the colony collapsed, and he actually lost his mother during the war. And she says that it changed him for the worst, and says that he does actually believe in strength and he wants to prevent a second civil war. But to be perfectly honest, his methods haven't been the most ethical and honorable ones, and I have a feeling the way that he's handled things will inevitably result in an uprising.
Mm-hmm. I guess in a twisted way, I guess best laid intention or best planned intentions or, you know, cause horrible things to happen along that line. I did want to ask, Brigadier, is there any other information about the pyramid that the Warlord is like left out when he was briefing us earlier? Is it just like, you know, it's there, we've sent people, and they haven't come back. We don't know what's inside.
What she says is that they're admittedly like she's doing the whole, like, in terms of anxiety, like the whole like kind of thumping leg thing as it's sort of brought up, and she's thinking about like there's obviously something that she doesn't necessarily want to mention. In this case, I'm gonna have somebody do a manipulation roll. And if you want, you can use Drill Sergeant Horgus as a dice pool, because I'm fine with people doing that.
Okay, do that.
So, alright, he has, manipulation 10, so I will roll, this time I'll roll public /R, 10d6. Okay, do you want him to push that?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Yes, please. Because
Having at least one 6 would be nice.
yeah, our luck is crapper.
Oh,
there we go.
fucking 3.
Several sixes.
Okay.
No, 4.
Oh, yeah, you're right, 4.
Boy.
One of the dice is, okay, so, so in this case, she mentions, 2 different things. The first one is she mentions that, you know, she says thankfully is kind of a subjective term and can be interpreted, potentially interpreted or misinterpreted in the right or wrong way. But in this case, I'm thankful that you haven't seen the absolute worst of the Warlord, because there's something about that pyramid that he, um, that he seldom mentions, that there are, like, she goes into describe that in terms of they're the political prisoners from the old government. Every so often there's like basically like I don't know if a lottery is the right word, but like, like names are chosen at random, and those people are offered up as sacrifices to creatures that emerge from the pyramid.
Oh, great.
Oh, God.
Oh.
And she says that the people, like, they're dragged beneath the water and they don't come back. And she says that Zhāngjié sent the Russians, like she refers to the Russians because she's, whether she has reason to believe that you already know or not, but either way she just mentions that the Russians that, visited us he sent them into that same pyramid, and he never told them what was in there.
Oh, great. Oh, sacrificial lambs. That's.
Lovely.
Oh, I gotta check that off my bingo card. I wasn't thinking about that at all. But there were great old creatures in the pyramid. Oh man.
No, in the water.
In the water. Yeah.
I wonder what they look
Oh, man.
like.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Have you seen them? Have you seen these creatures? Because you're talking about them.
And she says, I have seen them. They what she goes on to describe are creatures. Well, first of all, they fucking glow. Um, Second of all, describing like creatures with like black creatures, glowing heads, long domed heads, uh, spiky, like long tails with barbed tips, terrible claws. Um, does this sound familiar?
Oh, it's space
Space,
beast.
space
Oh.
beasts. Just great.
Agnes just looks at the rest of the crew like,
Yeah, yeah, because you don't know.
he hasn't seen these lovely things.
Yeah. So a quick 5-minute overview of Space Beast. It's a banned book. Very interesting read. I'll have to send you a copy that I've saved. Long story short, they're giant creatures who are very deadly and destructive, and seems like we're gonna be running into those lovely beasts today. So, I hope you brought your big boy pants, Agnes, because it's gonna be a wild ass ride.
Well, no, knowing what we've seen when you came to rescue me, I mean, I can't imagine anything being worse than that, but okay. He says naively.
I mean, he hasn't seen Simmons before, so.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I mean, let me rephrase that. The second worst creature we've encountered. Behind, Marty, why don't you fill the man in on the bullet? You don't have the bullet in you, but the lovely radiation that's still crawling through your guts from little surprise he gave you.
Yes, no kidding.
Goddamn, you've been having a lot of fun adventures.
Yeah, I just radiate kindness.
Oh, you're the type that spreads the love, I see.
I radiate cancer, I mean kindness.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so that was one thing that she mentions is like, yeah, human sacrifices, xenomorphs, and people being fucking sent into the pyramid without being told what they were doing in there. The other thing she mentions also. What?
Hold on. And these guys were not just killed. That place is swarming with these fuckers.
What?
Martin explains. Okay, for each one of these things, for each human prisoner, you need to count one of these things because they use you to procreate. During the procreation process, you die.
The aliens fuck them to death? What? As somebody who doesn't know,
Yeah,
like,
that's the
hell
fun
is
part.
going on?
Yeah.
Think of them more as there's a type of wasp, I forget specifics, but think of them as like a parasite. They lay their egg inside you, and then once it matures, explosive results, and more often than not, we'll find the victims plastered to a wall. So,
God, I'm gonna be sick. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know from the description of his driving, but goddamn, that sounds awful.
Just wait until you see it. Then you'll be sick.
Oh, and these fuckers bleed acid. Ask me
The
how I
fuck?
know that little tidbit.
You don't want them to get close.
Mhm.
Well, you could have let off with that, okay? well, oof, well,
Somehow that was the one detail that almost slipped my mind, man. So
so these are acid bleeding creatures that use us that are parasitic, use us as baby food, whatever, and they have crazy claws and everything, and we're going into CQB with them. I think this is going to be lovely.
Yes. The one place
if
where you
I
don't want to be, CQB.
if I'd only packed a flamethrower rather than a smart gun. I wanted to try out my shiny new toys, and the hubris is gonna bite me in the ass.
Oh, I got a spare one. He's carrying both. He has the smart gun on his hand and the big flamer on his back. So if you need an extra weapon, he'll lend you one.
So,
Mhm.
are there any other questions? Because like I said, there were extra successes, and there was another thing I was going to mention. So,
Okay, mention.
the other thing is that that the Brigadier's mentioning, in addition to the whole, like sort of following up more so on the previous point of like Kurzik Outpost and Zhāngjié, like his sort of dark past. Brigadier Wa kind of throws her 2 cents into the fact that she says while she wants there to be peace, that might be harder to achieve, not only because of Zhang Jie's actions, but because the people of May Outpost were, extremely hostile towards the people of the cooperative. Namely, there was no shortage of hate crimes being committed against my people by the inhabitants of May Outpost, which only made Zhang Jie even angrier.
Was afraid that was the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that little detail was conveniently left out. But
By
at this
everyone.
point, at this point, it doesn't surprise me though. It makes sense that, yeah, always going back to the old world issues, man. Old world issues, new solars, new planets. Oh man.
Yeah. No matter how far we get away from our core Earth, the same issues arise. Something in that damn human nature of ours.
I don't know which species is worse.
I know the rest of that statement.
Well, it seems like I'm going to find out.
So, um, are there any other questions or anything you bring up to the Brigadier?
Um, if you could give a rough estimate, how many people has
Zhang Jie?
Zhāngjié sent over? Yeah, words.
So,
How many has he sent over to the pyramid as offerings? If you can
um,
ballpark the number.
there have been, the Brigadier Wa is very, reluctant, but she just keeps it quiet. She says many. I could not give an accurate number. And not only the amount of human sacrifices, not only the amount of human sacrifices, not only the amount of um, like the two different teams that he sent to scout the pyramid originally, and then the Russians that went in there unsuspecting of the danger inside. There have been a lot of people going down there.
Oh,
Absolutely
oh,
beautiful.
man. Oh, we're walking into a. Oh, if I know anything about bees
A
and
hornet's
wasps,
nest.
but yeah, hornet's nest. There we go. That took the words right out of my mouth, man. Oh,
Apparently a wasp's nest, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well,
Do these things have any weakness or anything?
Bullets, Horgus says. Let and fire.
yeah, flame. They really don't like fire.
Okay.
Not that anyone does, but
Yeah, kind of a generic weakness there, but okay. That's something.
I think it was just ask Savanska. She set one on fire and it like that's the best way to deal with them. You set them on fire and they don't, bleed on you.
Okay, at least the acid is dealt with, though fire in close quarters is gonna be fucking fun, but life on the edge, let's do it.
So, okay, final call. Are there any other questions for the Brigadier? Or, like, anything you want to say to her before you reach your destination?
Not here.
Um, what is she armed with now that I think about it? Because she's going in with us.
Well,
Be an issue.
she was specifically assigned. I should clarify that she's your chaperone to get there, but she's not following you in.
Of course, but okay, I slightly feel better because I was suddenly worried she was going to be traipsing around the pyramid with us, and she's actually a halfway decent person, and I'd feel bad if she got killed by one of these creatures. Or
Agnes slightly feels worse because now he's like, yeah, maybe we're just sent here to die. Maybe we're not meant to get out.
Well, your mission parameters are basically to, search search the pyramid for anything of value. And Horgust actually will pipe up because again, this is something that Tom suggests. He's like, my orders are we search the pyramid for anything of value, and we kill every single last one of those fuckers in there. Maybe we'll get some kind of bonus or something from it. Who knows?
I can get behind killing a lot of buggers.
who knows? Maybe we'll
How
run
hard
into
can that
the
be?
queen, Horgust, and you can add that to your kill count.
Yeah,
Agnes
he
just turns and like, what? Like,
Horse,
give me a break, man.
a queen. I have
Fucking
a
queen.
score to settle with her.
Is she one of the hot ones or?
Well, she will be once she eats a fire grenade to the face.
Okay.
She's the queen is the big she's the queen bee of the hive. There we go.
Kind of like my ex-wife, Horgus says.
Now we're talking.
But worse.
there is the ex-wife joke. Yep.
Anyway. But yeah, your orders. I mean, your orders from Zhāngjié are basically, explore the pyramid. If you find anything of value, you know, record it, get like visual evidence of it, or bring it back. Um, and then Horgus is basically, like I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all. So anyway, um, so I take it there are no other questions for the Brigadier.
Nope.
Okay.
Just a last greeting. I hope we meet again.
Yeah, so Brigadier Wall, she's smiles at basically you feel the vehicle's kind of coming to a stop, and she's she places a hand on your shoulder and says, please be careful. And the vehicles stop, the bay doors, the back doors open up, and you see in the other vehicle that not only are there are a couple vehicles. There are the two that are carrying, your two different squad. Well, actually, no shit. One of these things is fucking big enough for all of your people. Um, and then there's, a crate that's unloaded that has all your guns in it.
Oh, Cody.
What?
Can I ask a question real fast?
What?
Would I be able to spend a story point to say that I brought a pups device with me?
Let me just check. I think somebody might already have one.
Okay.
Um,
I couldn't remember if anyone was carrying one.
let's see. I'm thinking
Very
Summer
easily.
might. She surprisingly does not. But as for story points per raw don't work like Destiny points in Star Wars. That's just for like successes and rolls, so I'm gonna just kind of stick with what's in the book and say no.
Okay, that's fine.
Not to disappoint,
I
but
couldn't remember exactly what they could be.
well, basically it's
Yeah,
like,
if you have a motion tracker, it should be enough.
well, Pups, I mean, is arguably better because it maps every single thing, including active enemies. So,
Of course,
but I mean, motion trackers are still good though, especially because they give up-to-date information, whereas a Pup doesn't. So, um, but yeah, so you guys, you have a crate, like with your guns, it's kind of dropped on the ground at your feet. Um, once all of the Steel Talons are out, uh, the Brigadier gets back in one of the Ox transports, and the vehicles will, well, before driving off, um, Brigadier Wallace says radio back once you are ready for a pickup.
understood.
So, and then she gets back into the vehicle, and then the vehicles will drive back off towards the city. So, you are at the entrance of the pyramid. Let me switch us over to this diagram. Hopefully everybody can see it, like has vision on it.
Yep,
Yep.
I see it.
Okay, cool. Let me pull up. Let's see. I should probably stop closing this document. Okay, so the pyramid. So yeah, you have, the opening, like a very wide opening at the entrance, that kind of narrows as it gets deeper. Sort of similar to the fucking, like the mound in Prometheus. That, like, it's sort of like it goes down and also sort of narrows. Um, so you've got two different options for, uh, like, you know, like going down. Like, so there's a central shaft that you could rappel down if anybody has some rope. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or you could go, like, walk down this down ramp that's sort of like a spiral down. How far down and where it goes, I mean, in character you don't know, but basically you've got a shaft that you can rope down, do like fucking Rainbow Siege New Vegas shit, or you can go down like the ramp.
Is there any way to dump a gigantic um, explosive down the deep shaft? 'Cause we know
Um,
what's down there.
well, I mean, there are aliens somewhere in the pyramid. You don't know where in the pyramid. You don't know the layout of this. Like, basically, in character, all you know is that there's an entrance here, and like that a ramp that you can walk down, and then a deep fucking shaft that goes straight down into utter blackness.
Okay, and where are we?
You are on the surface. You're up here, so you can either walk like
Okay.
down here, or you could rappel down the shaft. Getting down the shaft would be quicker, but it depends on if you guys have a rope and winch.
Shaft, rope, winch, aliens. No, we're taking the ramp.
Yeah.
Seems safer to me.
However, it does mean that we have a. So can we shine in? Can we shine a light in the deep shaft?
You can shine the light down there, but it's too deep to actually for the light to go all the way to the bottom.
Okay. What are the walls like?
The walls are, let me just double check. Like, you mean like the walls, like the lining of the shaft, or just the walls in general?
No, the walls of the shaft. Like, are they like super smooth? Are they? Do they have lots of things to hold on to? What?
It's the same sort of like, very
Translation: can an alien climb up the shaft?
Potentially. That is entirely dependent though if there is like surface, like when I say surface area, I mean like if you guys look at where the quote unquote shrine is, I mean obviously you don't know that, but like if the aliens were able to somehow get onto like climb up the ceiling like this and then climb up the top, yes, like the texturing is such that they could do that.
Okay. So here's another question, and since we're looking at what is this?
What is what? Oh, that jagged line? I think that is supposed to be like the physical architecture of the pyramid itself, like the shape of the pyramid,
Oh, okay.
whereas the more uneven
Okay.
stuff is like the volcano around it.
Okay. Volcano.
Well, yeah, it's a volcanic planet. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily an actual volcano. That was kind of a misspeak on my part, but like basically the point is it's like natural terrain. Like the pyramid is built into it, and I think these angular lines are specifically like the pyramid itself rather than the terrain built around it.
Okay.
Makes sense. Okay, so on the downward ramp then?
Downward ramp, and let's make sure that somebody always watches our back.
Okay, who are you going to nominate to guard the rear?
So do we have our mega party of all of the fighters with us
You
downward?
have obviously because Horgust, like he broke down the different like teams. Like you've got
Oh
the
yeah.
quote like Alpha team, which is basically all the remaining players, as well as Summer, who is now an NPC because Grace had to bow out, and then Johnny as your medic. And then for his beta team, you've got the commander that he recruited, Cassandra Mitchell, along with
Mm-hmm.
Sweetwater, Zavadska, Heather as the medic, Igor, Johns, and Sayad. So you have an additional like you basically have like doubled like a party size. And also and
um,
just to clarify, in terms of getting into danger, what I was discussing with Horgus is because of like, yeah, I'm not going to turn this into a massive war game where like most of it is just NPC action. Basically, having the NPCs around, they're not going to participate in combat, but it's going to effectively have the amount of aliens you have to deal with.
can you throw the NPCs onto the board, please?
Sure.
I think
So
that would be helpful.
yeah, so what I'll
And
do is
I need a minute. So,
okay. So let's see. So we've got I'll just drag like all the two different teams here. So we've got Drill Sergeant Horgust leading this team, and then let's see, Evelyn, Martin, Summer, Tobias, and then let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3, so 7. Who am I missing? Johnny, I think. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Johnny. So where's Johnny? Johnny is under an NPCs. There you go. So that's one team. That's like the player party right here. As for the NPCs, you've got uh, Cassandra Mitchell leading one of the teams, and then there's John's, um, Zavadska, Heather, Igor, um, Sayad, Sweetwater, and let's see, was there anybody else? I think it's just those 7. Um, so basically, like the characters in this line are not going to actually participate in the combat. They'll basically be searching a different part of the pyramid and killing whatever aliens they come across.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you'll be dealing with less aliens overall. So, okay. Um, so let's see. Need to pull up the document. So as you are going down the down ramp, let me just double check if there's not anything there apparently isn't. So what I'll say is this. So you guys are going down the down ramp, and for a general description of like what this is looking like, so the pyramid, it actually has like power. It has enough residual power to illuminate the interior with an eerie blue glow that seems to come out of nowhere. Just bright enough to see, but not bright enough to banish the shadows. The air inside is salty, and sound echoes a very long way. And like the down ramp is kind of like a spiraling thing, but as you get to the shrine, let's see. So let me just pull up the down level thing, and I'll also copy the tokens over. Where is the pyramid? Here it is. So activate this map. You guys still have vision? Oh, what the fuck? What happened to all these tokens?
We got squished a little bit, but we can see.
Yeah, something like that. And also, hold on, why does Sayat? Well, Sayat hasn't been in combat for a while, so I guess I didn't recover her health. Okay, that's fine. She would be at full health though. So, Gunny, Agnes, Arthur, Evelyn, Sergeant Summer, Tobias, Johnny. Okay, so yeah, you like basically like the whole temple's making some like very eerie noises as like the wind like howls through it. It just kind of sends a chill up your spines every so often. Not going to make you mark up a stress. It's more like an ambient kind of suspense element. Um, but as you get to the bottom of the ramp, or at least in the first like room that you encounter once you go down the ramp, like as you are going, well, I'll say this, as you are going down, um, like you eventually find basically a room that reeks of death, and like so first of all the water, um, this whole room is flooded by like it's like about 3 feet, like a meter of water, and what's more haunting is the fact that like I should ask who has your helmets on?
I have my suit on.
I mean, I
So
know everybody has your
I
suits
do.
on. I'm asking if you have your helmets on.
I know I
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
Agnes,
mine
Agnes
on.
will have his. Why not?
Okay.
I mean, we actually know what the opponent is going to be. So, yeah, we've got our helmets on.
Okay, then give me air supply rolls.
What?
Give me an air supply roll.
My click. Yeah, it's a little.
Uh, how do I do that?
So
I
on
click
your
on air.
yeah, and you click on air, and then that
Well,
should do it.
You
my
click on the
air.
little icon, the little parachute thingy,
Yeah.
So,
on consumables, the general tab.
yeah, but my air is set to 0.
Oh, that
What?
does make sense.
What? Why is that? Let me see. Oh, well, here's the problem. Your M3 personnel armor is active. Your Eco 2 suit is not. And your air
Okay.
your air on your suit should be set to 6.
Okay, hold on. So I need to put on my Eco 2 suit.
Yeah, activate the Eco 2, deactivate the M3.
God,
Yeah, the M3 probably put in the footlocker.
Yep. All right.
what?
N-
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
No, that's not on my. Double click on it. Okay, I don't know what to do.
Okay.
If I right click on it, it's asking for a check. If I double click
Well,
on it,
no, hold it. Let me finish. You right click on the pencil and paper icon of the M3 armor, move that
Oh.
to your footlocker,
at the locker.
And then you did that for your eco too, not the M3.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Okay, so left click the icon, the little white icon of the Eco 2 suit to make that active. Okay, and then what I need to do is change your air supply from 2 to 6.
Still in the inventory.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so change this to 6, and then go to the general tab,
Yep.
and then
I click on supply roll.
yeah, on the parachute supply roll for air.
Okay. Oh, apparently I'm not allowed to delete messages. So can you delete my rolls, please?
All right. Okay, so none of you have an air supply decrease. Good. So yeah, you make your way down the air, like down the tunnel, and you find yourself like wading through water, and there are dead bodies floating in the water. Specifically, the like mauled, shredded bodies of the aforementioned, like what you can only assume to be the special operations
The
unit.
Russians?
Bingo. So
Okay. So while Martin basically sweeps his gun left and right, covering the area, he tells somebody to roll one of them over and look at their chest.
Yep, roger that. I'll flip over the body closest
okay.
to me.
Yeah, well, it's very clear that these people were not like, they didn't die from chest bursters. They were attacked and torn to pieces. Like they were basically like, they weren't killed by chest bursters. They
Okay.
were killed.
Okay.
So,
with Martin's regular dark humor, he goes, "Well, at least that's less aliens to kill."
At least they didn't. At least they didn't die
But
that
at some point,
way.
you start thinking about survival, right? You start thinking about numbers.
oh,
I
you're not wrong.
don't think it's unreasonable to actually go, well, at least he didn't turn into an alien.
Yeah, true. Agnes looks at all the damn water
Yeah.
that's a meter high and just goes, well, so much for the flavor.
Well, now I'm going to tell you right
Here-
now that like as you guys are starting to talk, and like assuming you're looking around the room, you actually hear like the sort of like a swoosh of just general movement and a gasp. And if you look over, like, there's a lot to unpack with this room, so just let me get through it.
Oh, great.
Hey, not all of it's bad. So over on the side, there is actually, I mean, he doesn't have like unique artwork, but there is actually a guy. There is a survivor. One of the Russians is still alive. He's very badly wounded, clutching his abdomen. He has a sidearm, specifically the same model of pistol that Brigadier Wah had pointed. Like he points it over when he hears like activity, and then he lowers it when he sees that you're humans. So the question is, do you want me to finish describing the room, or do you want to interact with this guy?
Okay with seeing the rest of the room description,
Okay.
don't know about everybody else.
Okay. Well, I'm not hearing any protests. So basically, yeah, in terms of this room, obviously, again, it is an engineer pyramid. Um, they there is a shrine that has like basically, so the majority of the shrine is above water. The guy is sort of like on quote unquote dry land, like not in the water. And beside him there are actually engineer murals covered in glyphs. And I mean, you don't have the means to see what they mean right now, but you can translate them and review them, which may be in your best interest to do. So the question
Are
is,
they similar?
Sorry, go ahead.
I remember now. When we were doing the Heart of Darkness, I believe there were some glyphs or something that I had copied down. Are they similar to those, or is it a different thing?
It's the same like language, not the same exact like phrasing. It's a good question to ask, a very good question to ask. But in this case, no, it's not like the same message across both. It's like this is just like a different. This is something different, but in both cases, you don't know what it actually translates to. But that is something
Okay.
you do have the ability to figure out. So, I mean,
Okay.
but the question is
I
basically, are you
misphrased my
going to?
question. I realized.
That's all right. That's okay.
I was like, are they similar? Was
They're
the
similar, but they're not the
question.
same. So,
Yep. Okay.
so the question is, are you going to document them with like helmet camera footage or like PDATs or anything else?
Definitely with a camera, at least, in our helmets.
Hell yeah.
If anything else
Is
is
somebody
needed.
playing an instrument? I mean, that's kind of a rhetorical question, but
Oh, sorry, that maybe bled through in mine and in the background. Sorry, it's housemates. Sorry.
oh, okay. Yeah, things
Yeah.
are the things you hear when playing RPGs. But anyway,
Mhm. Yeah, we'll get the helmet cam footage, and then I'll also document them because I do have a PDAT on me.
okay, yeah. So, um, yeah, so you can do that. The book does say to like do an observation roll, but given that I'm just for clarity, it's like meta plot critical. I mean, I'm not going to make you do a roll for it. It's like, I mean, you're not going to understand it, but you know, you don't have to actually do a roll just to record it, to translate it
Yeah.
later on, perhaps. But anyway, so you can get that.
Yep,
So
that's fine.
that's really the only like between the dead uh SOF soldiers and the which speaking of, yeah, it's very clear for especially for the UPP uh, you know, PCs that like if you're examining these bodies and like their uniforms and armor and stuff, these are very clearly UPP, like Space Operating Forces.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, so apart from the UPP, like the SOF commandos and the engineer ruins, like or not ruins, the engineer like shrine. There's not really anything else other than this like panicked, traumatized, very badly wounded survivor. So speaking of which, so first of all, Drill Sergeant Horgus is going to order Johnny to make yourself useful, patch that man's wounds up. Um, so Johnny's going to give him medical attention, and the guy, so oh, thank you, thank you. Listen, we need to get out of here before they come back. And like panicking and
Uh,
stuff.
I probably stepped over to the shrine as well to write down the
Okay, yeah, you can move
hieroglyphs.
yourselves wherever the hell you want in the room, by the way.
Yep. Just I'm kind of glad. I'm glad one of you is still standing. How long ago were they here? Do you reckon?
Um, he says you know, he had like the guy says that you know time has been like in his state of shock and the fact that there isn't exactly much to tell time with here, like you know, like for example, like the passage, like day-night cycle kind of thing. It's very difficult to tell. Um, and that I mean, his mind isn't really in like that sort of state of thinking, like, how long has it been? It's just I want to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Um,
Is he wearing like a wristwatch or something?
um, that is a good question. It stands to reason he would have one, but see my previous point about how he's probably not like frantically checking
Yeah.
his watch.
No, I get you. Um, my I'm asking the question because maybe when he was pulled down here, it stopped because of the water, and we could get an idea of the time it stopped at for
What do
the
you mean the
water
time to
getting
stop
in
in the
the
water?
mechanism. Like, because I'm at actually never mind. Question withdrawn. It'd probably be a water resistant watch when the wouldn't tear up when it goes in
Right.
liquid. So
Yeah. Well, it's just the
I'm
main thing.
overthinking
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Well, the water, it's
Sorry.
like, I mean, the whole pyramid's been flooded. It's not like it suddenly
Yeah.
just happened at a certain time, but so just in
How fresh are his
advance,
wounds?
Um, like fresh enough to the point where like if like any like much it wouldn't be much longer if Johnny hadn't treated them that he would have bled out. Um, but they're not like they didn't just happen, but they're still fresh open wounds.
Okay.
So, I
Great.
mean, I'm not exactly an expert on this subject, but hopefully that makes sense. Like he got whatever attacked him, and I mean, it stands to reason you probably know what. It didn't happen that long ago, but as for how long specifically, like that's something I don't have the knowledge to really describe. Um,
Okay.
so, as
Oh,
for
good.
questions, I will note ahead of time, Drill Sergeant Horgus / Tom had quite a few, but if anybody has your own before that, um, you are free to ask, and they potentially may also be questions that he had planned, but I'll leave it to the players first.
Yeah, we're gonna ask. Going to ask. You know what attacked you?
In terms of what attacked, he describes them uh, as like, you know, demonic black alien creatures. Um, like he uses the phrase "living weapons" in reference to their like claws and fangs and like basically how
Mm-hmm.
everything a part of them is just like and they just he's incoherently ranting about how they just living weapons is a very apt name for them because they went flying like bullets, tore everybody apart, and then retreated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Um, like, I don't know. Did you notice? Do you happen to take notice of like how many there were, or was it just like happened so fast you couldn't think about it?
The latter.
Oh, that's completely fair.
Where
He
did
obviously doesn't
you
say it as
encounter them?
contently as I just did, but
Yeah, just I look at his horrified face and no words are said, but
yeah.
yeah, they answer my question. Yep, that's what I expected, but thought
So,
I'd ask.
I want to ask about if he's seen any black goo. I mean, because
Um,
this is an engineer's
yeah, that's a
pyramid.
valid
So,
question. He says that he says he doesn't know what black goo you're talking about, but you know, like he hasn't seen it. He doesn't necessarily know if there is any, but what you're saying doesn't ring a bell.
okay, cool.
Where was your team attacked? Where did you encounter the creatures?
He says that um they came for like so it was in this room that his squad was attacked, and that he like weakly, like his arm is trembling, he points to the center of the room, to this hole. Like now
Well,
keep
what
and
the
I
bad
will
does is
disclaimer
butt
though.
technically close
Dis
too.
disclaimer that like I will note that he points to like the quote unquote hole. He's basically pointing to the center of the room. The water is very high, so you can't like distinctly see a hole, especially because it's a very dark room. Um, but he does point out that like they rose up from below the water, like absolutely tore through everybody, and once everybody was dead, or at least in his case they perceived him as dead, then they fucked off.
Uh-huh.
And he describes the fact that his whole team like got hit hard and fast. Nobody got off a single round.
Oh wow. um, what what was your what were you told beforehand by
Uh,
the warlord or whatever you know?
the warlord. Um, so the guy says that Zhāngjié, um, specifically was. Hold on, let me just check my notes. Um, he said that um like he says that Zhāngjié tasked him with exploring the pyramid to secure his allegiance by his as in Zhāngjié's allegiance to this guy and whoever he represents.
Come again?
So Zhāngjié basically like this guy, what he explains, or at least snippets of it that you interpret, is that this guy, um, came to Mei Outpost, wanted Zhāngjié
Mm-hmm.
to, sort of like pledge allegiance to him, and Zhāngjié said sure, but in exchange, I want you to do this. I want you to explore this pyramid and see what's in there. And if you do that, then I will help you with whatever you need help with. Or like I will be loyal to you. But first you need to do this. And the do this is explore the pyramid.
And Martin basically goes, "Well, that's one hell of a way to get rid of your enemies."
And he says that, Zhang Jie, at least I didn't get the impression that, he considered, me and my men an enemy. But perhaps, I mean, either way, he betrayed me.
Hmm. I mean, it's a pretty funny way to test your allegiance. Like, trying to get your, like, to create an allegiance. It's a pretty sick way to sick test to put you through. Ugh.
And yeah,
Yes.
Horgust is you're pretty pissed to hear that betrayal. It's like, that goddamn communist heathen! Like, just fuming over Zhang Zhe's evilry. But anyway, jokes aside.
Yeah.
All the UPP heads turn to look at Horgust.
Yeah, well, I'm technically socialist, but who's keeping score? I'm no politician. Um, so,
No shit.
so,
You're very much the carry the big stick and just attack anyone and not set up friendships.
are you
No,
describing
No
Horgust or me?
offense.
Are you describing Horgust or me and Civ?
A little bit of both, I guess.
Yeah, because either way, you're
Martin observes dryly, "I know, boss. You're a communist. You hate everybody equally."
Anyway, back to the wounded Russian. Um, so, and obviously full
Cracking
disclaimer
jokes.
that the
This
jokes
guy's
I
in
make as
shock.
Horgust are by no means canonical for what Tom would say, but I mean I'm just
No,
joking
they're not.
around. But yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so anyway, so the guy. Any other questions that the players have before Horgust like lays into him with questions?
That's it for me.
All right, so no vote from Agnes. Blitz, what about you? You've been kind of quiet.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
We only poke fun because we
It's
love
happened
you,
a few
Blitz.
times in recent memory. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I don't really have a preference or input.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to ask. So Martin and or Evelyn?
I think I'm good. So far. So.
All right.
What's this dude's name? I realize that's the
So
question that none of
yeah.
us asked.
Yeah. The guy is Lieutenant Colonel Victor Drubov, which yes, I'll put that in the chat. Hold on, and notes miscellaneous. And I'll just mainly update the one message. Hold on. All right, there you go. Lieutenant Colonel Victor Drubov. But anyway, so Drubov basically says, well, he gives his name and he says he's from the DSOF, and um like, I mean, are there any other questions you have for him?
That's it. We can send him to the escape.
He said that he came here on behalf of someone. Who is that? Who did he come on behalf of? Like his like unit.
Yeah, well, what he says is he is visiting on behalf of the UPP side of the Great Mother mission.
Oh, okay.
Why weren't we told that?
And he says, well, I mean, well, first of all, it depends on, like, who were you expecting to tell you? Because he says that, I mean, first of all, I have no idea who you are, and because you haven't introduced yourselves either, but the fact is that, like, if there was somebody who was going to tell you that, it wouldn't have been his business.
Understood. We'll bring that up with the higher ups because we're also from the Great Mother mission. Would have been nice to know if we had others here, but that's for a later discussion.
Yep. So, do you have any? So, any other players have any other questions for him? Final call.
I think that's all from me. Nothing springs to mind. Nothing else.
Okay. So,
Yep.
Drill Sergeant Horse says, "All right, Ivan, sit rep." And he's going to ask the guy a couple questions. So first of all, he asks, you know, let's see. I'm gonna just, yeah, no, I'm not gonna bother with the roll this time. So he asks, where is the guy from? Um, and he says that, he deployed via a ship called the SSB Buratino. Like, he was deployed here
Okay.
on an individual ship. Um, the next question of Horgus, I mean, I'm not going to do his voice for all these because I'm already fucking losing my voice, but he asked, does he know more about what can be found here? And, the guy reiterates, that Zhāngjié said to explore the pyramid to secure his loyalty, but he never warned him about what was inside. One of the questions Horgus was going to ask, what happened to his team? I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious, so. Same for, what what has he seen so far? I mean, xenomorphs. Uh,
Exhibit A is right
yeah,
at our feet. Quite
yeah,
literally. Flip around.
yeah. What agreement does he have with Zhang Zhai is, Drubov says that, he was, his orders, he was sent here to ascertain if May Outpost would join the UPP instead of the UNSC, and he gave, uh, his, through his higher ups, he gave Zhang Zhai modern weapons and technology as a gift in the hopes of winning him over. And then he adds that, Zhang Zhai manipulated him to searching the pyramid, and only does he now realize how badly he fucked up. So.
Interesting. Could you put down the ship name that
Sure.
Drubov came on?
Will do.
Drubov. It'll sound like Drew Bob. Comrade Jub. It's fucking stupid. Mispronunciations are making me
Okay.
giggly.
So, anyway. So, yeah, you are in the whatchamacallit, like, you're in the shrine room, he says those things. I don't know if there are any further questions based on any of that stuff, but if not, we'll move to the next scene.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah. So somewhere within the pyramid, you hear the all too familiar echoing shrill cry of a xenomorph. In this case, I'm going to give it 1 point of stress to Agnes because you
Yeah.
have not. Well, actually, in this case, yeah, no, never mind. I'll just give it to Agnes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you should.
so, um, Drbov like gets even more pale with horror. He's like, "No, they're coming back!" And um, you all at the center of the room. I'll just position everybody kind of around, I guess. Um, unless there was a specific place that you would want to be. Like, if there's a specific place you want to be with the knowledge that you have, let me know.
It's not specific. How about not here?
I'm talking about in the room at the time that you
oh,
hear
oh,
this.
oh, oh,
Like,
oh,
That
oh,
that'd
oh,
be
oh.
the ideal that we aren't in the room, but
Do we hear from which direction the screech came, or is
that's
it?
the scary part. You don't. It echoes all around
Mhm.
you.
Then yeah, Agnes is just overwatching then this chamber,
Okay.
just in case.
So yeah, you
With your motion trackers.
yeah.
If we
So
have one.
yeah.
ooh, I actually do have mine. Am I able
Okay.
to use it?
If you want to do it, give me a power roll.
Sure. Um. Yep,
Movement.
I made that. Exactly. Yep, I made the lamp inactive, so that doesn't add to the power. Motion tracker.
All right, so the battery goes down by 1, but you do get signals. Center, like now, whether it's coming from above you or below you, but it's all clustered like in the middle. Um, and sure enough, you basically you actually do see glowing lights from down here, and from out of the water burst yeah, 3 of these glowing fucking xenomorphs. And in this case, everybody is going to take 1 stress because you have not seen this like this particular type of xenomorph. As it falls
Yeah.
under the like you're attacked by a strange creature you haven't encountered before rule. So, we are going to roll initiative. Actually, let me just make sure that Drubov has his gun. So, yep,
They glow
They have a
now?
very nice.
They glow now.
yeah, they do. So,
They have a the blue sheen on the token is very nice picture.
yeah, it's very nice
Which is
artwork.
yeah, which is probably not the thing I should be noticing right now.
Yeah,
That they're
I
fucking
admire its
xenomorphs,
purity.
but
All right, so, add the players to
I've
combat
secretly been an android
state.
this entire time.
Yeah. Let's see. These guys have speed 2, so let me just duplicate. Hold on. If I do duplicate combatant, I think. Then duplicate combatant, and duplicate combatant, and then I'll draw all, and then I need to reroll for the people who has fast reflexes. So I believe that's Martin and Evelyn, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so Agnes or Arthur, do either of you have it? I don't remember.
I don't.
Have what?
Do you have the fast reflexes talent that lets you reroll initiative?
No.
Okay, so Evelyn, you can go to 2, so let's do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, by this point, I'm assuming
Hell
you guys
yeah.
just want to take their earliest slots, so I'm not going to bother asking. So reroll initiative, so Martin can go from 7 to 5. Do any of the PCs want to swap? Because as a reminder, you can switch with characters like Tobias, Johnny, Summer, and Gunny.
hmm I'm guessing because I have the same initiative slot as Chef that I go before him, right?
Yeah, if you want,
Cool.
or
Okay,
you
so
can swap out a PC with Chef. Like you can, yeah, like you could have like Arthur go on Chef's turn, or maybe, yeah, like swap Horgust with somebody, that kind of thing. So
yep. Um, would you want to swap with Chef, Martin? so you can, unleash hell faster.
Yes, probably a good idea.
Okay, so let's see. So swap initiative
But
with.
behind Horgust, because hopefully, he can give a command that gives me just a little bit more oomph, so to speak.
Yep. So okay. Well, that begs the question of Agnes, do you want to swap with Horgus so he can give commands?
Well, I'm just afraid of this bugger attacking
No,
us.
that's totally valid. It's just again I wanted to.
Though actually, yeah, I'm gonna switch with Horgust and let him buff us. I hope that I will
Yeah,
be able to attack that creature and swap initiative with it. So
that's a good idea.
that'll be fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see. Uh, where is so Agnes swap with what the fuck? Why is Horgus not on the list? Oh, apparently I had him select. There we go. All right, so and then Arthur, do you want to just stay where you are? Because you're all the NPCs go after you.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. All right, so we will begin combat. So, Horgust will give Martin a command roll to light this one up. So, he will, shout this.
I will PT you until you fucking die!
That's right.
And let's see, command roll. So /R 10d6. And let's see what he. Oh, nothing. Do you want him to push or do you want him to?
Yes.
Okay. So /R 10.
Let's make him push. It'll be funny next time when he comes with a bazillion stress.
Okay, he got 2 successes. He can push a third time if you want him to.
No.
No?
Two is enough.
Okay.
I mean, we have 2 sixes, right? 2 successes.
Yeah, 2+2 to your roll.
Yeah.
He can also command with his fast action if he won't
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah, he'll do both. Like he'll boost Martin and then he'll boost Agnes as well. So I just wanted to make sure that Martin, if you're fine with just the 2, or if you want to risk him getting another stress just to boost you further.
No.
Okay, so
Nope.
and then the roll he does for Agnes, he shouts.
You had best unfuck yourself or I will unscrew your head and check down your neck!
I will unfuck myself, sir.
Okay, it's 2 successes. Do you want him to push? Oh, hold on, I forgot the 1d6.
Let's see what 1DS does.
All right, yeah, no, he didn't get an extra thing.
I think he's maybe
Uh,
actually be
yeah.
rolling 2ds because you didn't factor in the stress he got from seeing the newsy note.
Oh shit. Yeah, so let me roll that for Martin's thing. 2ds or 1ds rather. Let's see. Okay, so no for that, and then let me roll another one for Agnes's roll. Or yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, does he? Well, he panics, so he can't.
Lovely.
He can't push, but he did get 2 successes, so he will. Let's see, roll his panic. I wish I had like the war face scream on my soundboard. I'll have to get that later. So all right. That is so yeah. So both of you get a +2. I mean, well, I specify like Agnes, I guess, shoots this one, or Martin shoots that one. So if you follow those orders, you get a +2. So that is Drill Sergeant Horgust. Next is going to be this alien, which is going to, I mean, is right there, so it's going to go after Martin. Are you going to save in fast action to block? Don't roll it just yet, but I'm just asking you, are you planning to do that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. So it moves into engage range with its fast action, and for its slow action, because these things, slight disclaimer, they have different attacks than standard aliens. Let's see.
Even better.
All right.
Or even more fun.
Okay, are you going? All right, got one success on its roll. Are you going to? Do you want to block, or do you want to see if your armor takes it?
Let's see if my armor takes it.
Okay, so roll your armor. Yep, you're fine. You don't even need to block. So it basically tries to reach out at you like ET for some reason, and then you just like backhand it with your smart gun.
No touchy.
I want to rip off your face. Come closer.
Come closer.
I'm downright witty today. I'm making myself laugh.
Okay, so yeah, it didn't do shit. All right, Evelyn, your turn.
All right. I'm not gonna. Torn. Do I help my buddy, but then do I get him splashed with acid blood? Is the downside. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and get that one's attention off of him, because he is my buddy. And buddies help buddies.
That's right.
Okay.
Nothing says love like drenching someone in acid, but please continue.
So that's
We're
I'm gonna save my
Pakistani
fast
friends.
gonna save a fast action to block, so I'm not gonna aim.
You're buying him an acid bath voucher.
8, 11. I'll go. Yeah, I'll go full auto.
Do you have machine
Which
gunner?
gives me. I do indeed.
Yeah, so basically you should always go full auto, because like it's a free +2.
Yep. So it's 13, 15, 17.
Nice.
17d6?
Indeed. And if I had aimed, I get 19.
How the fuck did you get that?
Same
A
way you
nice
do.
combination of heavy weapons, weapon specialization, machine gunner. and my
Quite possible,
range
yeah.
combat is maxed out.
Okay.
Remember, she's a smart
Okay.
gunner now too.
Oh, I did not know that part. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I actually looked at my skills properly and built up the character right. Okay, so
Okay.
I have 1 stress die, and yep, so 17 is my poop. Let's get dangerous.
Very dangerous. Do you want to push that?
Sure. So I'll be pushing 15.
Yep, plus 2ds. All right, well, you mag dump on it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Are you doing it all damage, or are you doing stunts?
Am I able to do like the swap initiative with it?
Yeah. Keep
I
in
will
mind that
use
that
one
does
of-
mean you're swapping on. I would say in this case, because it has 2 initiatives, and it just uses its first, that you would probably switch with its second, just so you know, if that influences your
okay.
decision. Especially because it's like its second initiative, I think, is uh the one
Behind everyone.
pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. So
The swapping initiative, I think, only activates in the next round.
Yep.
true.
Like, yeah, you can do it, but it'll take effect in the next round. So yeah.
Okay, in that case, I think I'll just go all in on damage.
Okay,
rather than
so that's
swap.
how much? So 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's roll its armor. Okay, it soaked 1. So that's 5 damage. Actually, no, hold on, wait. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5. Um, so
Ooh,
okay.
5+ to the acid splash.
Yeah, that's the
Downside.
yeah. So
Uh,
so damage is
you might hate me, Martin, but I swear I'm working in your best interest.
yeah.
What?
Well, this is
And
awkward.
that's a lot of acid.
Do I roll against my armor against that or something, or what?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the slash
Yeah.
R.
Just for reference, I
Yep.
mean, I'll let you do it this time, but this time from this point on, only one roll from anybody. I don't care if it's the alien dice or the manual dice, but okay. All right. So your armor takes 2. The armor rating degrades by 2. Kind of like Hicks's armor getting eaten away by the acid.
Yep.
Okay.
And then so manually change the armor from 6 to 2.
As soon as I find it.
Or 6 to 4 rather. Okay, so you see where your eco suit, the pencil icon, if you click that, it lets you
Yeah.
edit it. Changes the armor rating from 6 to 4. And by the way, it is usually 8, but yours is apparently taking damage that you didn't repair. But going forward, you will be able to repair it. So anyway, so it goes from 6 to 4, and you take 2 points of damage.
And
Okay.
maybe should be marked with the acid thing, so we remember to re-roll the acid on the next round, because yeah, that gets forgotten often.
What, you mean like the damage that keeps going, or?
Yeah, the acid goes half and half
Oh,
each time
no,
it gets
I
done.
have that in mind. Don't worry about it. We'll cross that bridge when we
Oh,
get
okay,
to it.
okay.
So, okay, so that happened.
So is it dead or not?
It's still alive.
Okay.
So that was Evelyn's turn. Martin, it's your turn. So you've got, I'll be generous and say because you didn't actually use, like you had an action reserved to potentially block, but you didn't actually use it, so you can still
Right.
have a fast and a slow action if you want.
So a fast action would be stepping out of range.
Yeah, to go from engaged to short, but you do need to do a mobility roll.
Okay. Mobility. Oh, how about that? 96.
Yep. Okay, you succeed. So it doesn't
Okay.
get like an
What does
attack
that mean?
opportunity. Well, basically, if you had failed, you would still move, but the alien would get a free attack on you.
Okay.
So because you succeeded, you get away without incident. So you are no longer at acid splash range, so you can absolutely like murk this thing.
Okay. So let me see here.
You obviously
How
can't
am I
aim,
gonna?
but you can still shoot it.
Right. What? Okay. Well, I've got. So what is that? Like, is it also 14d6?
Well, let's see. You've got heavy weapons, weapon specialist, machine gunner, +2 from drill sergeant Horgust. So that's 8. The smart gun gives you a +3, so that's 11. And your range combat agility is 9, so you've got 20d6.
Okay. But with 2 stress, so plus
Yeah,
2
plus
ds.
correct.
Oh, sweet mother.
Wow.
Holy hell!
Okay,
Well,
so
okay. So joking aside, here. Hold on. Let me look here.
and while you're doing that,
Oh,
you get a what?
I see 5 6s.
Yes, as do
Right.
I.
I see 5 successes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Horgus says,
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
So,
That's one dead alien motherfucker.
yeah. So let's see. So you're doing all damage.
I want this thing dead. How about
All right.
that?
Yeah. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or actually, hold on. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Um. So let's see. Armor, piercing.
Where's the 7th coming from?
Okay. Base damage. The first success is 3 damage. Second damage is 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 5 successes. The base damage is 3, so
Okay.
3 plus 4 is 7. So you did 7 damage.
Okay.
Um, It soaked one of it, but it had 2 health remaining, so you are going to crit it. And yeah, you absolutely fucking murderize this thing.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Makes
that,
sense though.
So
that
the
fucker's
water
dead.
around you is like hissing and steaming. Yeah, it's a very good thing, by the way, that I asked about your helmets. There's a specific reason for that, and this is that reason. The water is like hissing and bubbling, and there are like dead alien pieces floating in the water.
Some lovely psychedelic acid fumes. Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so that was Martin. Very nice job. Agnes. So as a reminder, you get a +2 if you shoot this specific alien, but if you want to shoot the other one, I mean, you can. So
Understood. Agnes is gonna be a good little boy and is gonna follow orders. Is gonna shoot that alien Horgus mentioned. Let's do this. He's going full auto. I don't have machine gunner, so I'm upping my stress.
Have you guys seen Fury?
seen Fury?
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'm pushing this.
Very bold of you to actually use the alien dice, but I mean, your call. So, let's see. 1, so 3, 4, 5, 6, assuming you're doing all damage. Oh, you can actually push
Yeah.
the second time though, right?
Yes, I could. Actually, yeah, I want this thing surely dead, so I'm gonna push for the second time. Try to one-hit kill it.
All right. Oh my. Oh my god.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
okay. So that's a total of 10 damage, armor piercing. Yeah.
Oh man. So okay, I'm not gonna bother
I think
rolling
he's
armor for.
okay.
Even if I roll all 3 successes on his armor, you're still just going to absolutely murk this thing. So, um, yeah. Once again, then the famous words of Mona. Oh my god, he's so dead.
Agnes looks at Horgus like, is that good, Commander? Did I do well?
It's like, I may allow you to serve in my beloved Steel Talons. So it, for the time being, yeah, like it goes limp and it's floating in the water. And you know, kind of like an issue that arose in Emily's game, Alien game. It is secretly just playing dead, but you don't know that. Like it basically gets riddled with bullets and flops in the water and it's just sort of floating around. Because it got rise again. Actually, hold on, what is it? Okay, on its next initiative or if it's attacked again. Okay, so Agnes, that's your turn. Kung Fu Arthur. So this one is seemingly dead. This one is very much alive and well.
Which is which?
The one closest to you is the one that's feigning death. This one is very much obviously alive.
Can I charge him with the shovel?
Yeah, do a spade spin.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Do I need a fast action here?
What?
Can I sacrifice a fast action?
No, because you would have to get into engage range. You're at short range, you would have to get into engage range to hit it.
Gotcha. Alright.
I played
He's
the
cooked.
sheave spin sound a little too prematurely. Apologies. A demonic heartburn roar is heard as a shadow plays across the wall. Arthur goes flying across.
Oh my god.
Oh shit!
That's a good
You
start.
Oh
like
wait,
that way
there's
too
more.
Wait, there's more.
This isn't in its final form.
Oh wait, can I push? Can I push it one more time? I know I can, but why?
Yeah,
it
well,
doesn't
you need to
want to let
push,
me.
allow multi-push. That's the problem.
Shit.
Well, if you
Forgot to
allow
do that the
multi-push and you
first
push it
time.
again, go for it. Like if you check that and then hit push, does it not let you do that?
I mean, I
You have
can.
to
It would
push.
re-roll that last roll though.
I don't think it
I
would. I
think.
think it would keep it. I know you have
Yeah,
at
I
least
think
6
it would-
successes. Yeah, you
Oh,
have 9
oh,
9
successes now.
successes now.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
Just
Okay, so
10 damage. Oh my fucking god.
yeah, so uh,
with the spade.
yeah, he does this. I just had to play that again. It's too funny. I'm sorry. um, so let's see. That's you said 10 damage.
We got 9 successes.
9 successes, base damage 2. So let's see. That's
Yeah.
2. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's 10 damage. All right, let's see this. Let's see this thing. Try to do its armor. Oh god, I got no successes. It's done for.
Can we roll a
What?
crit just for shits and gigs?
Oh, we're going to roll a crit. It's gonna die.
He just flies
Why
across
do I
the
feel
room and
like
pets the fucker.
yeah, why do I feel like Arthur will one day use the shovel to behead a queen?
So hold on. What is its lowest initiative slot? I need to figure that out.
What do you mean
I
one
think
day?
the
He's already
lowest
done
is
that.
oh, I think the lowest means the fastest number, since the lowest numbers go first. So.
Oh, good point. I didn't think about that. So yeah, it loses its
Still
next slot.
alive?
Yeah. Hold
Damn.
on. So remove actor. Okay, so it removes its yeah, good call, Agnes. I thought lowest meant like lowest end list, but apparently, yeah, I think you're right. So it regains 1 point of health. Roll D3 at the start of each round on 1 to 3 to try to see it. So it's got a little bit of a second wind. It's got 1 point of health left. Um, so there's that. But you did just effectively one-shot it. And let's see. So Two-Face Tobias is going to um uh he'll yeah, he's fucking insane. He'll shoot at it, even though you're right there. So
Can't go badly.
no, not at all. So he's gonna blast it with his Gorham. So let's see. That is Gorham. I don't think has a bonus. Nope, no bonus. Does he have weapon specialist? He does, but he doesn't specify which. I think it's for his revolver. But yeah, let's see. So we'll assume that +2. He's gonna aim, so +4. Max range combat, so he's rolling 14 slash our 14 d6, and also gotta give him that stress.
We just
Plus,
hear like the flipping of a coin.
yeah,
Where he's like, die, you son of a bitch.
yeah.
Came up, tails.
So
Or something like that.
that says you're dead, motherfucker. So, yes. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes. Base damage 3. So that's well, it's a crit. So let's roll. So it goes down to 0 again, and then it's going to roll the same fucking thing. However, yeah, no, it's unlike fire where it would be continuously attacking. Like, you know, I'm laying hands out. I'm just gonna say like a single attack that doesn't have like lingering damage. It's just one and done. Okay, so it so it gets another point of health back. Arthur, you are taking some damage, my friend. Some acid, rather. So let's see. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's acid splash of 7 damage.
Oh man.
Two-Face trying to convert you to
Yeah.
his side.
Yeah.
Which side, you'll never know.
Okay, so Arthur, I need you to roll your armor.
Okay.
Oh no.
I forgot that's a thing I gotta do. Oh boy. Oh,
Okay.
thanks.
So, well, actually, here's what I'll do. Is I'll say one of the stunts pushes it away from you. So at least it's not right. Well, actually, would you want it right up in your face so you can hit it again?
Yes.
Okay, then never mind. It'll just do all damage still. Um, so yeah, so you rolled your armor. So you are taking 3 damage, and you should also,
Oh, only 3?
yeah, yeah. Um,
Okay.
so you would be at full health at the start of the encounter, so you're fine. There will be like continually like acid burns, but we'll get again like with Martin, we'll get to that next round. The Colonel is seeing what has just happened, with both Evelyn shooting at the one attacking Martin and Two-Face shooting at the one attacking Arthur. He's not going to risk hurting somebody, so he'll hold fire. Um,
Only I'm a
this
coward.
I can take it. Hit me, you bastard.
You damn
If-
yellow belly.
Okay, if you really gonna encourage him to do that, he'll shoot it. But you are
I'm
going
gonna
to
encourage
take
him to
it.
do that.
Okay, he'll shoot
I
it.
was joking.
He'll
I
shoot
swear I was
it.
joking, but
So he's gonna do. Oh God.
I can take a
Let's.
lot of damage, don't worry.
So. So that's.
what's that?
Nine dice. Slash hard
What's
die.
that quote? Like, be a man, or like something like, "Oh, you hit me. You be a man and
Are you
hit
talking
me,"
about the
or something
Tarzan
like
line,
that.
or?
It's maybe I don't remember.
Okay.
I
So
think
he hits it. He got 1 success. So this alien, I gotta roll its armor. Okay, it blocks 1 point of the 2 damage, but luckily it's enough to do another crit on it. So let's see what it does. Desperate action.
Oh man.
Well, first okay. Before the action, I'm gonna do the acid splash. So let's see.
Brought
Damage.
this on myself.
Okay,
Yes, you
so
did.
miraculously no acid hits. Well, no more acid hits Kung Fu Arthur. So the alien, um, immediate fast and slow action outside the normal turn order. It instantly attacks the closest opponent. If it fails to inflict any damage, the creature dies. So it's going to attack you, Arthur.
Oh boy.
So, all right. Oh God.
Oh no.
I like the sound of that.
Okay. Roll your armor.
Oh, it's another little kiss.
Oh my.
Vampire spike. Oh. Oh, I don't like that.
Okay, so you block 1 damage and you take 2 and
Jeez.
It has 3 successes base damage too.
right, so then in that case you would take 3 damage total.
Oh no, yeah, it's 1 health point at a time. It seems, despite the number of successes. Sorry,
Oh,
by the wording here. Yeah.
okay, never mind. So yeah, you would take 2 damage, like just the base 2 of the attack. Um
Okay.
and then you'll start. Well, you're in a bad situation, my friend, because not only is this thing sucking your blood, you were also burning from the acid that splashed on you when you got shot. When it got shot.
Just getting turned into a smoothie, huh?
Yeah.
You're being turned into a weird juice box. Congrats, bro.
So that was the Colonel's attack. This alien is going to not so dead, because I remember it was playing dead. On its next initiative, it rises up. It's not going to go after Arthur because it's like, all right, George, you've already got this guy. So, um, it is going to go after I'm gonna roll a d4 going left to right from Agnes. Let's see. So slash
I got a
R1.
fast action for blocking. If
Yep.
need be.
Yep, same.
Well, good because it's going right after you.
Nice.
So it's going to let's see, roll an attack. Okay, got one success. Oh, it tries to do the ET thing again.
Okay, I will try to punch the hand off.
I'll set you on fire. It's radiation. Oh.
How do you have that much stress? Oh wait, I know why, because you pushed twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, okay, roll. You don't take any damage, but do roll panic. Maybe
Yep.
like it burns you not so. Oh god, what is it?
I probably get nervous twitch. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. You're
Alright,
welcome, everyone.
so yeah, so everybody mark up one. So for yeah, everybody mark up 1 point of stress, and then Horgus screams at you.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
So
It's trying to fucking touch me.
Just gave you radiation burns, man. That. Oh.
okay, that is
Fuck.
its turn. So Summer is going to uh follow the teachings of her kung fu master, and she's going to spade spin at it. And go flying at it, and she is also going to do. So let's see. She unfortunately cannot do hard hitter because she had to move into engaged. So let's see. Weapon specialist. I think the shovel gives a +1. So it's
Yep, I think it is.
3. And then she has uh hold on. Is that 12? No, it's 10. So slash R 10d6. Okay, she hits it for 1. Oh, I gotta roll that stress, right? Hold on, 2ds. Okay, well, she fucking panics. So let me just roll that stress. Okay. Oh. Hold on. Whoa, hold on, wait.
Yippee!
Why does she not have nerves of steel? Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, everybody gets another stress, I guess.
Oh, jeez.
Yippee!
So, um, so yeah, so everybody gets that 1 point of stress, but she does hit it, and she does do, potentially enough to, yeah, exactly 1 point of damage gets through, and that's enough to knock it down again. Roll crit. On its next initiative, it will try to kill the next nearest victim, then it dies. If it's wounded again before then, it dies instantly. So,
So
yeah.
it'll certainly digest. It might attack before that.
Yeah, I mean, either way, like, it's going to die, it just might get one last shot, so, okay, so, yeah, and fancy that it's its turn. So, it is going to retaliate against the woman who just clocked it over the head with a shovel, so, let's see, roll it, biomorph attacks, okay, yeah, it's a good thing it failed. So,
Which one was this?
you don't want to know. Yeah, either way though, it
Yeah, we'll
dies.
see it.
Yeah, you know what? I'll share it because it failed anyway. I'm going to share it. This is what would have happened to Summer.
Oh god, that one is
Oh.
brutal. After getting the critical injury 56 on top of that, damn.
Isn't that the one that like severs like that's like severed spinal column, isn't it?
Possibly.
Exactly.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the paralyzed one. The
Oh,
one where you're paralyzed if you
yeah,
don't get medical attention fast enough.
yeah. So be glad it died.
Somebody's been watching Predator a little bit too much.
No.
The Indians are learning.
Yeah. So, all right. So it fails and it dies. Johnny, um, yeah, seeing what happened to to Kung Fu Arthur, he's cocky, but he's not stupid, so he's gonna hold his fire. Um, and next is this alien who is in front of Agnes, who, yeah, he's going to attack Agnes.
Yep,
So,
I have nothing to block with anymore.
yeah, well, you have your armor at least, but let's see. Attack roll. Oh Lord. Um.
Oh no.
E-
We always love
I
hearing
have,
that.
I have story points if need be to save things.
yeah, you're gonna need them.
Again? Oh my god.
Roll your armor.
2 successes. Okay, I have 2 story points if need be.
All right. Well, you're using one of them.
Oh, I'm gonna use that other story point. Gonna need it. Yep.
Oh Lord. Um. So. Yeah. So it fails its attack. And yeah. So start of round 2. So two things we need to address. So Martin, I believe you took 2 points of acid last time.
Yes.
So the acid still keeps burning, but there is less of it. So you now only take 1 point of damage, but you are no longer taking acid damage. So you take one
Oh,
extra point of damage, but you're fine.
isn't it
Okay.
that the total is rolled but in half? That's
No,
how
it's
I
the damage just
understood it.
decreases. I think you're thinking of fire, where it like the total increases, kind of. Let me just.
Yeah, for the fire, the total increases by 1, but for the acid, like if it's 13, then
Stop trying
the
to do
next
more
round
damage
it's...
to me.
No, no, it would be less because if it's just rolled
Let me
again and no
hold on. Let me
successes
just
or anything.
let me check. Let me check. So xenomorphs. Let's see. Acid splash. um. So. Um. Oh yeah. Well, here's okay. Here's the thing. Here's how I'm going to handle it because I think this is how I was doing it consistently before. A victim who suffers damage from the initial splash suffers another attack at the start of each round, just like for fire. The number of dice rolled is halved at the start of each round as the acid is slowly used up. Given before, how I was used to it when I first started playing was that like like just the successes kind of dwindle away. You don't just keep getting
Mhm.
more acid burns. I'm going to stick with that. So,
Okay.
um, but today I learned that's definitely a pretty terrifying rule, but like I said, again, I'm just going to, for consistency, stick with that. So, but yeah, Martin, you take 1 point of damage. As for Arthur, you took 3, I believe.
3 more
Yes.
damage.
Well, no. You in this case, I believe it was saying fractions rounded down. So I think you would actually take 1. Let me just double check that before you do anything. Let's see. Um, fractions, rounding fractions down, yes. So half of 3 is 1.5, so that would round down to 1. So you take 1 point of damage, and then you are no longer burning. So,
Prones?
pardon?
Did you say he's prone?
No. I said you're fine. You're no longer burning.
Oh, okay.
You take 1 point of damage this round, but you are no longer burning because all the acid kind of fizzled out along with your flesh. But
Still have 3 health. You could believe it.
yeah. Um. So, uh, yeah, Gunny is going to. Well, he can't snap Agnes out of his panic technically because, well, actually, can he?
Yeah, it's a command to snap somebody out of the panic in
That is,
combat.
yeah. So that way it doesn't make the panic worse if you panic again, which you probably will. So he's going to do a command roll as a slow action to do that. So let's see. So slash R 10d6 plus 2ds as he does succeed. So you remove your panic. He got 1 success, and
Thank you,
he
Hocus.
Yeah, he basically screams,
You had best unfuck yourself or I will unscrew your head and check down your neck!
I'll unfuck myself, sir.
So, and then for his
I'll-
fast action, he's going to command Kung Fu Arthur to finish this guy off. Mainly because, this shovels can actually damage the aliens without actually, um, like, splashing acid all over. So he's going to do another command roll, same dice pool. Let's see, /R 10d6 plus 2ds. So Arthur, if you attack this guy, you will get a +2, though unfortunately, Horgus panics. So let me roll his stress.
Just the
Well, the good,
panic party. And okay,
well,
dead.
now the good news is he only got a 1. He had 2 stress, and then he has the -1 effect to it. So, like, it's completely inert, doesn't hurt him. All right, that's Gunny's turn. Well, actually, I should ask. Does anybody want to swap initiatives right now? I mean, you all go before the alien anyway. I'm just asking, like, who wants to, like, do you want to have, like, Arthur just knock it into next week before somebody shoots it and splashes acid, or?
A question I had, and would I be able to use, because I have to reload the smart gun, would I be able to hit the alien with it as like
The bludgeon it?
melee weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah, bludgeon
It counts. It counts as a blunt instrument. You would have to move into engaged
Yep.
range to do so, but yes.
Yep.
And it would be armor
Okay,
doubled
then.
for blunt instrument. Just be warned.
Okay. I have a pretty decent, like, and blunt instrument gives a bonus. You hit with it, so I have faith. Not much, mind you, but some. I'm fine with staying where I am. There we go. There's the end of that thought.
Oh, well,
I'm just,
you mean staying where you are in the initiative order?
yeah.
Okay.
Bring my mouse away from the mic because I realize you can probably hear me clicking it. Is everyone still there?
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
you. I was just waiting for you to do your thing, so.
Oh, you haven't swapped down to my turn, so I thought
Oh,
this was still doing
sorry.
something.
Well, he already done both of his actions, so yeah, it's your turn.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So I'll move into engaged range. Buttons. I guess just closer. I'll target it. Manually, because I have better luck that way. +1 from the blunt instrument. 5, 1, 5. 8. Okay. Plus 4 DS. Because I'm stressed as all balls right now. 8d6 DS.
Alright, you got 1 hit. Do you want to push?
I will indeed.
Alright, 7d6 plus. Well, actually, no, it would still be 8d6 and then 5ds.
Yep. Ooh, And I have the past the limit, so I could actually push this twice.
That you could.
So that's 8d6 plus 5ds.
Yes.
Actually, maybe 4ds because we take the success out that was used of the stress.
Oh,
Right?
well, no. You always roll your stress dice because that influences your panic. So technically, no, I don't think so. You would just roll 5ds. That's in absence of. I don't know. That's a very good question. I've never seen that come up before. I know you do that when you're rolling your base dice, but with stress because that can influence panic. In this case, I'm going to say just keep that success and then just still roll 5ds.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Do you want to push again?
Sure. I have nap relief that I can take.
All right.
We got drugged out of our eyeballs, man.
As long as no one double doses me like Simmons did to Cassandra.
Oh God. All right. Well, roll your panic first. Oh God, what'd you get?
Fucking. I've.
That could have been much worse. Like,
drunk.
holy shit.
Yeah. I've just got into a frenzy beating this thing over the head.
So basically, you bludgeon it, and here's a fun fact. So I'm not doing this actual effect, but yeah, anyone touching the biomorph suffers the effects of intensity for fire. It's phosphoric, like by texture. So you like touch it very briefly, and it fucking burns you, and you drop the smart gun, and it falls into the water. So.
Oh, great. That's gonna be fun trying to sift out.
But you do have whatchamacallit, the I think that was 2 successes total. Oh no, I didn't even look at the base. That's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. So let's see how that holds up.
Am I able? Well, depending if it hits.
Well, what were you trying to do?
I was looking at the things, and close combat, you could knock your enemy to the ground. Is that a possibility with my stunts? But I don't even know if it hits.
So the good news, it hit. The bad news, just barely. Like, you don't have enough successes for like, you don't have enough for a stunt, but you do hit it and you do 1 damage to it. So let's see what the crit is.
I'm just yelling and shrieking at this thing, like, yeah, get the fuck off of him, you motherfucker.
Okay.
Beating him with the goddamn smart gun.
So yeah, it does that. It hurt. You hurt it pretty badly. It screams out in agony. It is going to, okay, fastest action outside of the normal turn order. It is going to basically fuck off and go down here, like go back into the dark depths.
Oh no, of course it does.
So there's that, Evelyn. And next is Martin. So yeah, actually you guys are for the time being out of initiative. So I'll keep the initiative order in case anybody wants to stick around, like fuck around and find out. Do you want to fuck around and find out, or do you want to get the hell out of Dodge?
Fuck around and find out is my motto.
Agnes turns to Horgus and says, what are we supposed to do here? Are we supposed to find anything or what?
Well,
the job was to recon to figure out what was in here. We find what's in here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, you did
And now
find
it's dead.
You found them. Well, you killed some aliens, but there definitely may be more. You did find the lieutenant colonel. You did find the murals. So I mean, that alone is, and especially when the lieutenant colonel said that basically there's nothing really in here other than the aliens. So I'll just pause like momentarily to explain this, that Horgust, I didn't tell him everything, to avoid like like obvious like metagaming. Like basically, whenever I do these like behind the scenes like briefings with him, I mainly just want to know like in situations that are plot relevant that your character would naturally need to interact with somebody or like make a call for the group, like what would you do? This was not something that came up, and I'm just approximating that he, between how stressed everyone is and the fact that there could potentially be more aliens coming in any second, he's going to give the order to retreat.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
yep,
Am I able to retrieve the
yeah,
smart gun before retreat?
yeah, you can.
Cool. Great.
I stab myself with the drugs.
Yeah. So anybody who wants to use nap relief, you can as you're leaving the pyramid. Um, and obviously Gunny will call back to Mitchell's team and tell her to get everybody in gear and head up topside. Okay, so as you are heading out of the pyramid, like basically as you're coming like up top, you do see actually. So on one hand, um, the sun is coming up. Like it's not necessarily like very obvious sunrise, but like there's very early like morning lights. Um, However, there is also like when you're coming up top, you hear and see distant gunfire and explosions.
Oh, that's a good
Well,
sign.
looks like
I
the
love the
party
smell of
started
bullets
without
in the
us.
morning.
So, um, what I'll ask of the party rather than just like leave it completely up to Horgus because he's not here. I mean, I do try to respect his wishes, but at the same time, I don't want to like essentially railroad everybody. Um, what do you as players want to do? Like, do you want to go straight for the palace or do you want to try to do something else?
Is the palace where the explosions are coming from?
The explosions are coming from all over town, and the palace is in town. Because just as a
Yes.
reminder, um, you still need to recover Amir and Buckley, and you also need to get the long data disk. So, and Horgus by this point is like, I'll tell you right now, I want to put a bullet right between that dictator's eyes. Um, so there's that. Um, so I'm mainly just asking because also keep in mind you've got a severely wounded SOF colonel with you, or lieutenant colonel if you want to be specific. But um, I just want to know like what your order of operations is.
Well, I would say healing a little bit, if that's at all possible.
Um, During the
Do-
dropship ride back to town, you can heal to an extent, but um, just having like a full R&R session right now probably isn't the best course of action.
um, and de-stress, but I guess I'm gonna take a nap relief.
Yeah, This the times like these are good times for nap relief. So all of you can, if you have an nap relief and you have a bunch of stress, I would heavily encourage you to use it. Because I'll say that in terms of, you know, Drill Sergeant Horgus is going to call for Mike to pick everybody up in the Seabiscuit. Um, and while the dropship is coming over, because I mean he basically has to fly from the spaceport all the way over to you, and then fly over to wherever you guys want to go. Hence
Mm-hmm.
why I ask like, what do you want to do?
I suggest we first break out our comrades that are being held prisoner, and then after that, go show Zhāngjié a piece of our minds.
Well, here's the thing: you don't know where they are
Damn it.
because Zhāngjié said like he all but stated that they were being held prisoner. Even if they were theoretically in that political prison that a couple people told you about, you don't know where that is. So,
Yep, first we gotta then take care of Zhāngjié, and we'll bleed out the information out of him.
and Horgan's like, I like the sound of that. He says as he like like flip swings his revolver cylinder shut. Um, so is that the plan? Then everybody wants to gun up for the palace.
sounds good to me. And Evelyn will make the
Yep.
comment of like, apparently a little bit of a Horgust diplomacy or Hartman's diplomacy, right, Captain?
That's affirmative. So, uh, he like eventually, you see the rapidly approaching, silhouette of the Seabiscuit flying in. Mike says over console, "Man, hey, y'all, man, the good you've been becoming. Cause smart lady, man, she's been using a bunch of big words that I don't understand. Let's go kill some shit." Um,
It's the voice clip that you have, Cody. The hey y'all, what are you doing?
oh yeah, that for those who haven't heard it. Yeah. But so Mike, after babbling on about how quote unquote smart lady was getting on his nerves, um, he comes in to pick you up, and yeah, you guys. So in terms of the palace, because remember that there are uh, the railgun defense turrets. How close do you want to land to the Warlord's compound? Which, as a reminder, I'll bring us back over to May Outpost so you guys can see. Um,
Oof.
you guys, let me for reference. Let's see, tools. Okay, so you're the pyramid, and the Warlord's compound is basically straight across the lake. So I'm asking you, like, how close do you want to, get air you want to get potentially shot at by the railguns?
I'm almost sure that Horgust would be very protective of his nice flying vehicles, so probably we're not gonna get too close and risk it.
Well, because I'm saying like the closest you could land, ironically enough, would be at the gallows,
Yeah, that
aka
might
where
be
the sacrifices took
dangerous.
place.
Do the AA guns have a sight on us at the gallows? Would the Seabiscuit be in
Well, let me
danger
put it
there?
this way. The reason I'm asking you that is because, if the weapon operators see a military gunship flying straight towards the warlord's compound, guess what they're going to do? Especially
Yeah,
during this given moment. Whereas if you are like say flying towards town as if like, oh, we're just going to go for the landing strips or something, or you're flying to a different part of town but not like going directly for the warlord's base during the middle of an uprising, then it's not going to be seen as suspicious.
Did you say gunship?
Yeah.
And how many of these turrets are there?
There are 4.
can Mike shoot him down? Maybe.
Can we see them from where we're at?
They're like building-sized railgun turrets.
Oh yeah, the giant GPP ones. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they're like
That's
27
no
meter
way.
fucking railgun turrets, like starship size railgun turrets that can target dropships.
Yeah, we're like flies to that.
I think our best entry point would be at the gallows, just to
Yeah.
avoid, little lock-on noise, and then Mike is once again bleeding off this display of his system. I have to share that story. I realize that only a couple people know that story. I'll have to share it after the session.
Yeah.
But most recent X stuff that happened.
Anyway, but yeah,
Oh
so
no, they have a Suev.
So do you want
What's a
to
Suav?
Battlefield
It's
4 lingo?
Yeah, it's a little drone that like locks targets and
Like you basically
I-
just in a quick like 10-second thing. It's a fucking like mini drone that can chase after aircraft so they can be laser designated, which makes them like the bane of helicopter pilots. It's great. Anyway, moving on.
Fun.
Um,
yeah.
oh, that fun doesn't even begin to describe it. But anyway, um, the but yeah, in terms of so, am I understanding that you guys want to land at the gallows, or are you going to try something else?
Okay with the gallows then. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Um, so yeah, you're battle strategizing over the course of like about 5 to 10 minutes. The dropship comes over, picks you up. Um, during the ride, you've got I'd say everybody can heal 1 point of health, in the amount of time that it would like take you to fly across the lake to the gallows. So there's that. Okay, so Mike lands and the ramp drops and you all presumably just go like barreling out towards the Warlord's compound. The explosions and gunfire is obviously a lot louder. And you hear Zhāngjié actually makes an announcement over like PA systems all over town. Like you hear him just screaming and going absolutely ballistic, saying the time has come to rid May Outpost of all who would dare oppose our great Kaneng cooperative. Men, woman, child, anyone out on the streets who isn't a soldier of the cooperative is to be shot on sight. The liberation of May Outpost has begun. Yeah, everybody get one stress.
Well, he's having a bad day.
Yeah.
Oh man, more stress.
Again?
What do you mean again? Again to the bad day or to the stress or both?
The stress.
Yes.
Yeah, it's stressful.
I mean, whether it's the, fear of getting shot at indiscriminately or disgust of that he's gone so ballistic that he's willing to murder civilians, including children. I mean, take your pick, but it's a stressful situation. I mean, the whole thing is a stressful situation. Of course you're stressed. Anyway,
What did the children do?
Exist.
I
Well,
don't know,
in
man. I think
Stephen's
they did
exist.
something.
dude, he's the fucking
Okay.
psychotic dictator.
I don't know, man. What if the kids are evil? That'd be a real twist.
Yeah, but hold on. This is the Warlord?
The Warlord, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Time
So
for some Horga-style friendly action.
yeah, so Horgust is definitely like you can see like steam coming out of his ears. And he says, "Move out!" And yeah, so given the with the riot, like or like the rioting across town, I will let's see, not going to do another combat encounter right now, as much as I would love to. Um, what we will do is you guys, if you guys want, we can just skip to the Warlord's compound where you just kind of like presumably fight your way through.
Yeah.
Rather than just doing like combat encounter, then move another block combat encounter, I'd rather just kind of skip that. I mean, if people want to play that, then that's cool. But if not, then we'll just move on. So, so you guys, I mean, after like bulldozing your way through, the cooperative guards, because realistically they're a bunch of Chinese soldiers with regular body armor and AKs against you guys. I mean, you know,
Not gonna end well for them.
yeah, no. It would require a lot of them, and I'm not going to do that. So, so you go up to the elevator. Um, like the elevator that you've been to go up to his office. Um, and I'll say establishing the scene. So when you go up to the elevator to his office and the doors open, before anyone takes an action like aiming or Overwatch, I'm going to describe the scene in full so you know what's going on and what might happen if you make any wrong moves. So the scene you see in front of you is this. Um, Zhāngjié's office is, compared to before how there are a bunch of troops in it, his office right now is abandoned save for himself, one generic goon with an AK, and the Brigadier. Um, Zhāngjié is sitting at his office desk. He has a lit cigar in one hand and what's clearly a detonator of some kind with a blinking red button on it in his other hand. His thumb is directly touching the button on the detonator. The last time you saw him, he wasn't wearing any visible armor, but now he has the same body armor that his troops wear, albeit with some red and yellow markings on it. He's watching you like a hawk, and so are his two accomplices. And I'll hint to you that if you so much as take aim at him, he will take that as an act of aggression and will push that button, and there's no telling what it does. The generic henchman is aiming his AK at the elevator door, but he obviously isn't firing yet. And like other cooperative soldiers you've seen, this guy has body armor. I'll also just drag these characters onto the map and drag you guys there as well. So let me just do that. So Agnes, Arthur, Evelyn, Drill Sergeant Horgust, Martin. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll just have Two-Face and Summer in the back. Like that. Okay. And then where is Warlord Zhāngjié is there. Cooperative Soldier is behind him like this. And Brigadier Hua is right there. So that's positioning. Like I said, the goon is doing that. And Brigadier Hua is behind Zhāngjié, and she's aiming her pistol at the door as well, although she doesn't look especially confident or comfortable in doing so. Like, she's not doing the whole, like, fierce, determined glare. She looks very torn, if not outright upset about what she's doing. With that said, Zhāngjié is clearly seething with rage, but he doesn't raise his voice, and he says, "It was only a matter of time until we came to this point. Now the question is, where do you stand? Would the insurrectionists threaten this great society, or with the cooperative, in which case you and your friends may get to keep breathing?"
I'm standing right here, buddy.
This doesn't have to end in bloodshed. You guys can still survive. Maybe not the way you wanted to, but you don't have to lose your lives over this.
And Zhāngjié shakes his head. He says, "No, no, no. I am not. If I am going to be overthrown, if I go down, my outpost goes down with me." He says
You
as
don't
he kind of
value your
like
life?
sort of gestures his arm with the button, like the detonator thing that he's holding.
Look, you believe me, you don't want to do this. I understand that you don't want to give up power, but just, think this through rationally. You're going to be killing loads of innocent people. Just,
Well, keep in mind, I will point out that you don't necessarily know what that button does. It's obviously not something good, but
yeah. But I'm putting 2 and 3 together, and I'm getting 5, or I'm getting 6. So I'm thinking ahead a little bit. Apparently.
Woo,
Sure,
I know you have a better way of doing this. I'm sure you're not agreeing with whatever he's planning. There
well,
must be a better way.
Drill Sergeant Horgus then says, "Well, there, Warlord, might I ask what you are planning with that?" And what I'll do is I'll have Gunny do a roll to see if he talks. So let's see, /R 10d6. Do you want him to push that and find out because he didn't get shit? So
Push.
okay,
Push.
10d6 plus 1ds. Let's see. Oh, he did get 1 success. Good. Yeah. So the Warlord mentions the fact that the detonator that he's holding, he links some explosive charges to the city's water plant. As in, if the charges go off, the colony's fresh water supply is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And when he reveals that, yeah, you guys know Brigadier Hua is horrified by what he just said. Like, her eyes widen and her jaw drops. Like, she's still aiming at you, but she is looking at him, and suffice to say, if you want to try to sway her to your side, now would be the time to do it.
Brigadier,
like-
are you loyal to only him or the people?
Hold on, Arthur, you were saying something, I believe?
I was gonna say, does this douchebag have like a big red button in his hand, or?
Well, that's what I was saying.
That's
He has
something
so he has a detonator in his right hand that has like a blinking button on it, and his thumb is directly touching that button.
So, if we remove his head from his body, he probably wouldn't be able to press the button because he'd be
Remember what I
dead.
said before. If you take any kind of like offensive action against him, like aiming or raising a gun towards him, he's going to press it because he knows, like, well, I mean, I might as well because you're going to shoot me anyway. So
Fuck.
And not to mention that he has 2 people guarding. I mean, one of them is basically on the edge of, going either way, but then he's got one other soldier who's bodyguarding him, so.
I think several of us are trying to reason with the Brigadier, but the thing that Evelyn will say, I'll say, but Brigadier Waugh, you know, both of you think about this. You're basically damning your people to die if you do that. Like, think about the future for one fucking minute and just forget that you hold this power. Like, think about the people. Like, you've lived in this colony your entire lives. Just try and, don't destroy it. This is a, pretty thriving colony. There's no need for this type of violence.
Evelyn, give me a manipulation roll with a +1. And you can use story points on this if you want, and it will not be opposed. At least if you're addressing mainly the Brigadier.
Yeah. Some manipulation, you said, or a +1?
Manipulation with +1, yeah. And if you fail, you can use a story point.
Yep. So, or that's the thing I did bump up manipulation, so I've.
Hey, Martin succeeded on 1 fucking dice the one time.
That is true. Manipulation, so 4 + 1, 5, 5d6 DS for my stress.
Wow.
Oh, I got 2 successes.
See? Yeah, so, yeah, you watch, so Brigadier Wall, like, she's thinking about it, and then she actually turns her gun towards Zhāngjié and says, "Put it down, sir." And, like, when he hears that, like, his face, like, he's, like, smoldering with rage, and, yeah, he turns his back to you to look at her, and he begins cussing her out in Chinese. So, what I'm going to do is, in this case, I will give one person a free shot, or like a free attack, and then depending on how that goes, combat will start.
Do we want to probably give it to our best shot? Give it
Probably.
to Martin.
Or do we want to have the crazed artificial wound soldier try and rip his head off? Or actually behead him
throwing
with
the
a shovel. I correct myself. Behead him with the shovel rather than tear his head off. He said it before. I'm just parroting what he said.
Keep in mind, though, like I said, it's a free shot, not a full turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably should go to Martin. Try and take the shot.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, I don't hear anybody protesting.
What's that?
I don't hear anybody protesting, so go for it.
Okay.
Basically, all your usual modifiers apply. Aside from aiming.
Okay, so that is +5 or something.
You get +2 from machine gunner, +2 from weapon specialist. You have the heavy weapons talent, right?
Yep.
So that's another +2, so that's +6, and then the smart gun is +3.
And what?
The smart gun is a +3 if you're rolling the manual dice.
Okay, so right. So that is 9d6.
Well, 96 for the modifiers, but then whatever your actual dice pool is, which I think is 9, which would be 18.
18d6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got something like almost 20.
He had 20 before because of shit. Oh my. Okay. Let me ask you this: are you also going to shoot the soldier next to Zhāngjié? Like this guy, because this guy still seems loyal to the Warlord. This woman is now turned against him.
Yep.
All right, so that's, I'm guessing 2 and 2 for each.
Two and two.
Like 2
I
successes
see
go to
3
one guy,
successes.
2 to the other. So that's
Oh.
4 damage on both. Well, actually, let me
I
ask you
see
this: do you
3.
want to push?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I don't know why I saw 4.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's why I was like.
you're right.
What
You're right. I misinterpreted. So, but do you want to push that?
Okay.
So you could get 15,
Yep.
15 plus 1 DS.
Okay.
Jesus. Oh Lord. All right, another 2 successes.
Okay. Well, it's still not half and half.
Well, yeah, but still more damage. So either way. So are
Yep.
you applying the majority of it to the Warlord or to the soldier?
The Warlord needs to go first. End
Okay.
of story.
Okay. So let's see. So well, I'm just asking you, are you going to like do 4 damage or 5?
5.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I need to.
5.
Okay. So let me just roll his armor. Okay, so yeah, he just gets like, minced. So what's his crit? Yeah, you shoot him in the lung.
Oh.
As for the other guy, let's roll his armor.
He gets Mr. Kinneyed. And
This guy gets no successes in his armor as well, so he's broken as well.
Theoretically, we could still interrogate for the rhythm data distance.
Oh God, you hit that guy right in the heart.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, I would say. Well, I would say in the case of Zhāngjié, no, he's just dead. Like fatal crit, getting shot in the lungs. Story wise, like he's gone. So, and then I will say this. I'm gonna give the Brigadier a chance to grab that detonator so it doesn't like hit the ground in a wrong way. So, let's see. So she's got that. Slash R4.
yeah, with our kind of luck, it'll drop right on the button.
Yeah, I shouldn't jinx it. Does somebody want to spend a story point? Because remember,
Yep,
it's your
I
story
will.
point. Okay, so you dock off 1 and she will catch it. So, so she catches it
Yeah.
and then she delicately sets it down on the desk. And then like looks at Zhāngjié's body, like he's like slumped forward, dead on his desk. The cigar is just sitting on his desk, smoking. The Chinese soldier guarding him is on the ground with a hole in his chest. And she looks down and then looks at you.
And Martin kind of looks at her and like shrugs. Didn't want to listen.
I want to take a cigar.
Oh yes, please. That is awesome.
I was expecting Horgus to do it, not Arthur, but.
Oh no, actually, well, yeah, no, that sounds like something Horgus would do, but I mean Arthur called it first, so like Horgus.
And you know exactly what Horgus is going to say.
I will PT you until you fucking die.
Together.
I will PT you until you fucking die!
No, I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, I guess not.
Just chomps down the cigar.
Exactly.
Brigadier Wu, we can still stop the bloodshed. We can stop it right now.
So I'll say this much though, as she like before, she makes any kind of, effort to do anything, you hear like from one of the skylights kind of behind the office, you hear like a crash of glass. Rappelling down is Captain Snell. She does like a fucking commando like combat roll with her Space LD5. trained on the Brigadier. She says, "Drop your gun, or I'll drop you." And yeah, suffice to say, another major moment. Who do you side with? Or do you try to broker
Well,
a peace, or what's the
you
plan?
assholes are late.
What was the name of the Royal Commando one again?
Captain Snell.
Okay, Snell. Agnes just says, Snell, one moment, please. We've dealt with him. Brigadier Wu helped us. She doesn't want the civilians to die.
Yeah, and the Brigadier nods along when you say that. So, and Captain Snell kind of, shakes her head and she says, "So long as the cooperative's leadership still lives, they will continue to oppress the citizens of the Empire. I've spent so many years opposing them, and I've never been this close to stopping them. Don't stand between me and what I must do for my people." And I will say this, Horgus, because this was something we talked about, is that, because like I said, now this, in terms of this scenario, I edited it in such a way that, like, you can choose who you side with, whether that's person A, person B, or getting them both to, put aside their differences. So Gunny is going to do a roll.
I would
If I,
like to put aside their differences, just for once.
yeah, that's possible. So,
Because so a little bit of metagaming, the Marines aren't innocent either.
yeah, it's a very great conflict. Like, there are heroes and villains on both sides. Both sides have done good. Both sides have done bad.
And if we just install one of them, like, without getting the other, then there's always going to be a group that's going to be pissed at the other group.
Yeah, it only
more issues.
Exactly. It only guarantees the continuation of violence.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kind of what you do? But anyway, I swear to God, you guys are like, violence isn't the answer, it's the question, and yes is the answer.
Hey, man, I think we're all starting to get jaded at the violence.
So,
funnily enough, trying diplomacy.
Yeah, so here's what I'll say is that Drill Sergeant Horgus, because again, it's something that Tom wanted to do, he will do a manipulation roll to try to broker peace, and then I'll give him a
You can give him an assist from me.
Yeah, he'll get it.
I've got 9.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 successes, perfect. So he gets, like, he's like, "Now you ladies, listen here," and gives a speech that you have, like, the Steel Talons flag waving in the background as the American hero Horgus. Yes, this is like award-winning speech. Some of you probably have tears in your eyes as you listen to him. And then Snell and
trumpets,
yeah.
Just an eagle screams in the background.
Yeah. Especially given your fucking logo, like, Jesus. But yeah, like, Horgus gives this, like, speech.
5 fighters flying formation as he talks.
Their smoke tail is just they've been modified to be the Steel Talons logo instead of the flag.
Yeah. So Horgus, yeah, and then it segues in, like, the Star Spangled Banner, but yeah, it's anyway. So Horgus gives this, like, speech, and Snell and Brigadier Wall, like, the
Spangled Banner.
But yeah, the two women, like, they have their guns trained at each other, but then they just sort of, like, widen their eyes and they lower their weapons. And yeah,
everybody starts clapping.
Look at Horgus, go like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
All the time he keeps telling people to unfuck themselves, and it's like, you should probably take his own advice. But anyway, so.
Was it Horgus that made a comment very early in the campaign that he was afraid of, like, powerful women or something? I seem to remember that. I remember that from something. He's kind of gotten over that fear.
Yeah, that's what the triumphant music is.
Quote, but...
That's what the music is. Like it's triumphant because he overcame his fear of women.
Or maybe he just doesn't want to get in a shootout with them.
Horse, I fear no man. Women, on the other hand.
I've got 3 ex-wives. So
I may be misremembering that slightly.
So possibly. I don't remember either.
It's in character.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Especially the jokes like, oh, it's like my ex-wife or whatever. But anyway. Yeah, so he does get Snell and Wah to lower their guns, and you know, they basically, Zhāngjié had like a microphone on his desk, which presumably is how he was giving the you know, the like where he was going berserk and like screaming like shoot everybody on sight, yada yada yada. So yeah, basically Brigadier Wah and Captain Snell, like they take turns over the mic, you know, giving like a ceasefire order to their respective forces. And it's not instantaneous, but the conflict does rapidly die down. So, what do you say next?
Whatever. Thank fucking space Jesus, man. Oh boy.
Let's hope that calm hearts and wise heads prevail today. Time for some negotiation, I believe.
And yeah, Horus says, yeah, speaking of which, where's our negotiator? And he says that mainly to Brigadier Wah because, you know, the whole thing with Buckley and Amir being imprisoned, Wah says, I will arrange for their release immediately. And so she, you know, there's a moment where she has to get on like a radio or a phone or what have you and have like an exchange. It takes a couple of minutes, and you know, she says like, you know, like basically kind of explaining the whole situation. It's like, yeah, Warlord Zhāngjié is dead. I'm in charge now, and eventually, you know, she says that, you know, your friends will be released and delivered here forthwith. So, in the time that, I mean, do you want to wait for the actual diplomat to show up, or are you going to just try to hash it out now? I mean, you guys ultimately take the lead in negotiations. It's just a question of what do you want to do.
Yeah, because none of us are really the diplomatic type.
No shit, no.
Oh hell no.
Some less so than others, but
No shit, Sherlock is my immediate reaction when I said that.
Martin points at his gun and goes like, "This is my negotiator."
I can make threats really well.
I'll look at Wah and I'll say, do you know where the long data disk is? Before that gets lost in the negotiations.
She says it is being stored in the intelligence headquarters.
Great.
And she says that if you would like that, I can arrange for it to be delivered.
Yes, I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
So, yeah, and then I guess while you know, like in the aftermath of the phone call to the jail, you know, with the 2 Solvetsky Island crew members being delivered, the Brigadier will also, you know, make a call to the intelligence HQ, and then that will eventually be delivered. And all for convenience, they'll say that they'll both be brought in about the same time. So you've got this awkward moment of time where, you know, the Royal Marines and, you know, Wah, and then you guys, and then 2 corpses are just kind of in this office building. Do you want to say anything now, or do you want to just wait and like negotiate with an actual UN negotiator present?
To break the awkward silence, Agnes starts talking about tales from his prison days, how people who hated each other's guts got to get along after a lot of squabbles and trying to alleviate the tension, probably very clumsily, but doing his best, like in a manner of Well, in my day, we had a saying amongst us convicts, like, I scratch your back, you stab mine. So, in the sense that if we don't approach each other honestly and openly and just lay out all our dirty fucking laundry, man, things are never gonna change for the better. You both need to accept and officially recognize the shit that both of your sides have done to each other. And only then, when we take full responsibility, can maybe you be able to, in joint cooperation, create something really new and good that can work for everyone, not just one group.
Yeah, and both leader figures kind of lower their heads in reflection and think about it, and you can tell that the definitely kind of got through to him, and along with Horgus like over the top speech, um, all of that definitely kind of, I mean, you got through to both of them, so um, the shortly the two women from the Solovetsky Island, as well as the courier with the long data disk, are brought into the office, and yeah, and then in terms of negotiations, I mean, if there's something specific you want to say, you can. I mean, otherwise we can just assume that you guys just kind of hash out with Buckley's assistance, like a sort of a treaty, a ceasefire for leading May outposts going forward, both like a democratic government with both sides being represented, as well as UNSC oversight. Like, if there's something
That's
specific you want to do or like throw into the mix, then you can, but otherwise we can just leave it at that.
Yeah, basically just as long as the UNSC sees that both sides are equally participating and cooperating, they'll have support of the
Yeah.
Great Mother Mission, the resources of the core system,
Yep.
etc. Blah blah blah.
Yes. Yeah, that's something that.
Something I would. Oh, sorry, Cody.
Go. No, you go
ahead.
first.
I was gonna say I was gonna bring this up during like the little bit of time we had to like discuss things before the diplomat arrived. I'll ask the party, should we show them the video we have of the creatures in the pyramid?
Oh fucking yeah, yeah! I think they have a common a common goal there.
Yep. And my suggestion to once again quote aliens, as this game is do it so much that they nuke it off the. They drop a tac nuke down those holes.
Well, that would probably destroy the colony as well, so let's not.
Yeah, well,
like a little
we
nuke.
do something to like stop them from coming out at least. That's
A Moab.
suggestion.
Drop a mega explosive down the deep shaft and just see what happens.
Yeah, Moab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, during the like discussions, I'll definitely I'll share that little those lovely videos we've been capturing on our helmet cams.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, so this is what you're dealing with in the pyramid. Yeah, we myself and the party strongly suggest that you go and cap that hole very fast, because these things are extremely dangerous.
Better start making some. Better start making some concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if these things ever leave that pyramid and come over here, they'll.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, here's the thing: is that the Brigadier mentions is that they actually have, and the whole reason that Zhāngjié was doing human sacrifices was actually to, because they would fuck off when they were performed.
Oh, great.
So
that's why you gotta eliminate all of them.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Hopefully the UNSC will provide that assistance.
Yeah.
But in terms of I'll say skipping ahead once once Buckley, on behalf of the UNSC, like establishes a new government and has, you know, Brigadier Waugh and Captain Snell agree to, you know, look past old grudges and try to lead May Outpost to a better future, yada yada yada. The I guess the sort of duo thanks you profusely for helping to end the conflict and says you were always welcome at May Outpost, and you know you have a friend in the cooperative, so if you ever need help, you know, if we're in a position to provide it, we will.
Thank you for your hospitality.
And
I'm glad to hear that.
yeah, and then I guess if there's
Glad
no
to have you
further
on our
business,
side.
yeah, if there's no further business, then you're what the fuck? I just looked at the chat.
Yeah, there's an interesting chat going on here between us.
What the fuck, Arthur? What the fuck?
I think Arthur inhaled some of the acid fumes.
He's not excited by politics.
Arthur and Agnes, they get along like two peas in a demented pod, man.
Oh my god. I was gonna say, like, yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else, like Buckley says, like, well, if there's nothing else, then I guess we should probably report back to the Yanla.
Yep. I imagine they brought the long data disk. So
Yeah, no, they did. Like I said, the courier came at the same time. Yeah, so you got the long data disk, you got the people you were sent here to rescue. You do also, I will point out that you still do have Drubov. He's aboard the Seabiscuit, so I'm presuming you'll bring him back to the ship.
Oh yeah, to ask what the fuck how it was with his group.
Yeah, and also, yeah, because yeah, definitely if you speak to him again, there's definitely something interesting that I forgot to bring up, which we'll get to in a sec. But I was gonna say, but as you're turning to leave, I'll say that because it's a funny moment, and this is again something I'm talking about with Tom. Snell, you know, shouts out to Horgus, you know, like, and basically like he turns around and she actually unslings the sheath with her sword in it, and she says, "No knight should be without his sword." So Horgus like, "That's Horgus, sir, but thanks." So.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, Horgus has a sword.
Sir Horgus Hartman. Crazy fucking knight. Or not even a knight, just crazy fucking man.
Oh, dear.
Agnes is visibly disappointed that we're leaving to some lazy UNSC troops to figure out the pyramid shenanigans.
Well, keep in
mind
that that was Buckley's suggestion, but that doesn't mean that you might not be offered the job yourselves. Like, cause keep in mind, she was locked up in jail the whole time. She has no idea what the hell happened. Well, I mean, she saw the. Well, actually, no, she didn't because you showed the footage before she came over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd share it again when we have a moment after they finish it. Just like, yeah, so FYI, this is what's happened on the planet as well.
So.
You know, besides the you know, the colonies having.
Well, the UNSC might actually
fucking creatures.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll say you can. Yeah, if there's nothing else, you can recall to the Avalanos and also talk to Drubov if you want. Because there's one other thing I forgot to mention in the pyramid that, like, as he's been stabilized by Johnny, and what he says. Please give me a sec to find it. Because I forgot this in my notes in the earlier conversation. Let's see. Devil's the waters. So he says to you, you know, as you've like, you know, at some point, like as you're getting ready to recall to the mothership, you know, he once again he sincerely thanks you for getting him out of there. And he says to you, it's like, between you and I, beware. All is not as it seems on the Great Mother mission.
Fucking great.
Things are not what they seem.
I'm sorry, what?
Thanks for the information, regardless.
Yeah, he gave you a cryptic warning just now. He said not as all as it seems on the Great Mother mission, and he specifically said beware.
Yeah, I heard that. What is the Great Mother mission?
That's what you guys have been hired for. The whole expedition humanitarian aid mission that the UNSC is doing. That's the Great Mother mission.
Okay.
Another thing we have to keep in mind. Bloody great, bloody great. Always some backstabbing folk.
I don't know if we can ask this of Drabov, but would he be willing to join our crew, or is he gonna go back to UPP forces to
the latter?
It's
like
all good.
he thanks you for it, but he does say that he's loyal to his country, so.
Yeah, of course. Just keep safe, man. Hopefully, after all this blows over and we no longer have to deal with shitty crap run through the galaxy, we can get together and have a drink sometime, bro.
Yes, perhaps, he says. So.
Yips.
So, yeah. So you guys, I would say that you can recall to the start heading back to the Iyanla, and then that's probably as good a place as any to stop. So
Agnes just keeps from time to time, just whispering and nagging as subtly as he can, Horgust, with like stupid suggestions, like why don't we maybe rig one of your working Joes to sneakily with a giant bomb on, or carrying in a backpack or something, and go to the pyramid and just kablooey or something. Come on.
Are you kidding me? You know how long it took to get that Joe? They don't grow on trees.
But we're leaving them down there, man. Come on.
That's a negative. So anyway, XP. So Don, you know your character sheets. Let's go through this. Base 5 for everybody. And then every 6 or higher you get extra points. Okay, everybody participate in the game session. Did you follow your personal agenda?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Did you risk your life for your buddy? I mean, I know Evelyn did.
Yeah.
Her efforts kind of did more harm than good, but she still tried.
I had good intentions, but I also hurt you and damaged your armor more. I promise.
Yeah. So is that a yes for me as well or not?
I would say, because here's the thing, in terms of risking your life for your buddy, it's like she was shooting at something that was attacking you, not the other way around. So technically, no.
Okay.
Did you challenge or stand up to your rival, Marty? I know you didn't interact with Sweetwater this session, so no.
So he wasn't even there.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Well, actually, I mean, he was technically in the he was in the temple, or the pyramid, but he didn't actually interact with you. He was just on a different mission. So.
Okay, now I'm going to interact with him. Thanks, lazy ass, for not shooting at all. Miserable dumbass sniper. You can't do anything right. When you do shoot, you're too close. And then you're supposed to shoot, then you don't.
You can't do anything right.
I think that's a little bit of internalized anger over Simmons, but that's another thing for another time.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Anyway,
I still don't have a rival.
Did you make a panic roll? Which I think I'll give that to everybody.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I did.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh yeah, I think Marty didn't get any.
No, I didn't.
Okay, then all right, yeah, because I know Evelyn did. I know Agnes did. I don't think Arthur did, and I know Martin didn't. Arthur, did you make a panic roll?
Shockingly, no, despite 5 stress.
All right, well then, All right, that's just Martin.
I didn't roll a face hugger, so I don't think so, dude.
Yeah, so then it's just Evelyn and Agnes.
Yep.
Okay, so did you overcome a dangerous event using violent or unviolent? Yes.
Yeah.
Very much
Yep.
yes. Did you make a significant discovery revelation? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of which, you like that engineer data that is going to come up once you decode it, so that's going to be relevant. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
Um,
And something I will say is that I will actually kind of hold that back from our discoveries until I have decoded it, just so I'm gonna hoard it for a little. August hoards info. I hoard
well, Horus hoards guns, but
guns.
But I will note, yeah, I hate to be a killjoy, that do note that Horgus, he's effectively the field commander of the Solovetsky Islands captain, and the
Okay.
captain is watching with, so there's
Scratch
no way
that
you can
then.
hide that from him. So
Yep, scratch that. I forgot that point.
right. So
apologies.
no, that's fine. I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, so significant discoveries made, extraordinary action. Let's see. I think it was. I mean,
I think I made 2. So
yeah. I mean, you eviscerated the big bad. That alone is pretty.
The alien or
The warlord.
Yeah.
You killed the warlord.
Okay. Yep.
And you also killed a guy who could have used the bodyguard talent to save him. So.
If at first you don't succeed, use a bigger hammer.
Yeah. So, and then there's that, and then let's see.
Agnes one-shot an alien, but that wasn't too much. Arthur with a shovel,
Yeah.
one shot.
Yeah, he
the
sheep
other, but
spinned
also
across
got
the room and hit him. So that's always never not funny. So I'll give you that, Blitz.
I made the manipulation roll.
Yes.
Got
Yeah.
Wah on our side.
Yeah, that was a game changer. Martin actually wouldn't have been able to do what he did without you, so that's extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
And earn any money? No, you've not gotten paid yet. So
we need to discuss the bonus situation, especially
yeah.
when we're delving into these fucking ruins.
Yeah. In terms of spending XP, you can do that now if you wish.
Oh, good. Finally, I'm gonna be getting me some talents.
Do I need any more talent? Can never hurt, but not sure what ones would be good.
There's all those new melee talents, huh?
What new melee talents?
Weren't there a bunch of new ones that came with like the most recent expansion or whatever?
Building better worlds? No.
What
Are you thinking of Twilight 2000? Urban Ops?
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
maybe I am. Actually, no, I probably am.
Yeah. Building Better Worlds didn't have any new like melee talents. It mostly just had stuff for the new. Well, it had quite a few number of general talents, but it wasn't like anything like melee build related. So.
Oh, talk their language is interesting.
Here's something else. Here's something you could do, Evelyn. Bump up your instead of skills. Bump up your manipulation.
Yep. Oh, definitely. I think I will do that actually. I'll just bump it up 2 points.
Yeah.
I'm really stacking up XP. I don't really know what to do with it.
Let's check a look at your skills.
Like I have the the XP bar like filled, so I had to.
Okay. Well, for starters, you don't have any mobility at all.
No mobility?
That's a big problem. You have 3 agility and no mobility. So my recommendation, you bump that up. That or observation, or both.
Now, is that something that I can just do, or do I have to like?
Well, yeah, with mobility, technically you would need somebody with a higher rank than you, or like, well, you would have to either use it in a skill, use it in the session, which you didn't, but because you have people with a higher level, somebody can teach you, so you can circumvent yeah. So basically, if you just need to spend the 5 XP and then you can get the ranks and the skill ranks, because by this point, like, you can pretty much learn any skill you want because everybody else has it.
Skill max is 5. Theoretically, sorry.
Is there anybody that can teach me survival?
Let me double check. I think Tobias might if you want to pal around with Two-Face. He doesn't actually.
Is there anybody?
So, somebody probably on the Solovetsky Island maybe has it of our new NPCs.
Let's see. So does Igor have? For some reason, Igor has 1 survival. So yes.
Okay.
Anyone teach me manipulation?
I mean, Drill Sergeant
Okay.
Horgus, Martin, Evelyn.
See, I can use menacing to use strength instead of empathy for manipulation rolls, but only to make threats. But I could be really good at making threats.
Ooh.
That's true. So, any other XP spends or like talent rolls or anything?
I'm gonna get 2 mobility. I imagine there's somebody that has at least that, right?
2 mobility, yeah. I mean, everybody has like many people have like maxed mobility. Like I think Martin has maxed, right? Yep.
What's that? Mobility?
Yeah, you have maxed out mobility, so.
Yep, I do.
We get 3 manipulation, and that's almost everything.
Okay, well, yeah, mark down the 15 XP, and then for 5 XP, I would recommend getting something in mobility.
Well, I did just get 2 in mobility. 7 XP left.
Well, I see you have 20 marked on your sheet, and it's always 5, so I don't know what.
Well, I had it put in appearance because I went past the amount,
I
and
see
I
it.
just
Yeah,
hadn't
I
spent
see it.
any.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so let's see. So you had.
I have it updated now to 7, both in the appearance and in the
Hold on. I think
XP
my
bar.
fucking Foundry isn't like, synced properly. I need to refresh it because I was looking at your sheet and it didn't update. So let's take a look.
I think I'll just hold on to the rest, the other 5 XP.
Isn't
I'm sure
that
there will
what you
be
were doing
something.
before?
Yeah, and it ended up building up for a while, but yeah, I can't really think of anything now.
Well, might as well
so.
spend it now because you never know when you're not gonna have the chance.
Fast reflexes, rapid reload,
Yes.
rapid fire, everything. There's so much interesting talents that can be used.
Yeah.
Fast reflexes is for
rolling initiative twice and picking which one you want.
Oh. Yeah, so this was one of the issues. I was kind of iffy on taking talents that nobody had because my wits is 2.
Oh, but everybody has so many talents around here that they can easily teach you now.
Bingo.
Does anyone have fast reflexes?
2 people do, Martin and Evelyn.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah,
then,
so
and
just spend the 5 XP and then you can drag fast reflexes on your thing, and then now you got 3 people with it.
Way.
Okay, that'll be it then from me.
Yeah, well, hopefully that was a fun
time.
session. Yeah, hopefully that was a fun session.
Oh, certainly.
Definitely.
But yeah,